fuck you doing?
Remember that name, Good Pizza, with 3 Z's, baby, 3 Z's.
What's up, fam? It's your boy JP, Good Pizza. Yo, check this out. This week we got a very special guest, a very funny guest. This dude is a trip. CJ Humboldt came through to tell his story. I thought this dude was just making memes. I had no idea he was a grower slash broker slash meme extraordinaire. This dude is crazy. He's got a crazy story, man. You're gonna get a good laugh out of this one, man. We'll see you on the show. Peace, love, Good Pizza. Yeah, man. Fucking. How do you feel about the or the fucking spray terps, dog? What's your take on that bullshit?
Me personally, it's like I could see why people want to do it.
Yeah, same.
But
that age group, yeah.
I could also people want to snort flavored cocaine. So it's just a matter of preference. Me personally, though, I'm not gonna do it.
No,
you know what I'm saying?
No.
It's fake, you know. But I see that they're spraying good weed now, so it's not just spray terps on shit weed. They're taking the best weed and spraying it, which totally understand why people want to do it. But me personally, I don't want to smoke it, and I don't want to be a part of selling it, only because there's no real science behind, or like no study or that we could trust that would know like what is that really doing to people when they're ingesting it. You know what I'm saying? And supporting it is kind of like supporting like the movement toward goofy shit. Yeah. Where we're taking a turn here now. We're getting into really goofy shit.
Yeah, goofy waters.
So the sprayed terp is just you're taking a left right at goofy and fucking going all the way down the lane. You know what I mean? To Shitsville. But another thing too, what they don't realize what they're doing is they are doing market research for Big Pharma as we speak. Okay. So Big Pharma's major play would be able to basically grow the weed and figure out a way to put a synthetic product on the weed to make it theirs, own it, and make some fake studies that say this synthetic product gives you the THC feeling without the bad, you know what I'm saying? Or some lie that would make up saying our synthetic product on the weed makes this weed safe, and now it's safe. So they are doing market research for Big Pharma. Every time you spray that weed, Big Pharma's like, perfect, keep adding synthetic shit to this. Because now that's going to open the door for us to do it, and we'll patent it and own it. You see what I'm saying?
Damn, I never thought of it like that.
So you're really helping the evil that lurks, that's trying to destroy us. Every time you spray that weed and sell it, you are providing the market research that they need to prove their point, to now put synthetic shit on this weed and make it a licensed product that they own, that you have to get from a pharmacy. You know what I'm saying? You're helping them when you do it. So anyone out there spraying terps, more power to it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not going to do it personally. I feel like you're lacing it almost.
Yeah, you're lacing the weed, bro.
And then another thing too is like, I guess, if it tastes fake, how do you really know what you're getting? Like, it's a great way to take a stack pack and make some money. Now, keep in mind, I say I'm not going to do it. If you offered me $6,500 for a fucking pound right now, I would be outside with a pump sprayer spraying all those fucking pounds. Like, let's be real, okay? Like, money talks. I'm against it until someone actually wants it from me, because no one's ever asked me for it. Someone asked me for it, I'm spraying this shit. I don't give a fuck.
Bro, I got some friends that crossed over to the dark side, bro. I'm sure you do too.
Oh, for sure. I got a couple homies that are like looking at me like I'm stupid.
Yeah,
like,
bro.
I do want to get on this gravy
train.
Bro,
I got a homie that literally moved to New York, bro. He's like, yeah, I'm fucked.
This is all I'm doing.
This is all I'm doing, bro.
And I'm not saying like I have dignity and I wouldn't spray. I have no dignity. I will fucking spray. I'll spray piss on this shit if you'll pay me $6,500 a pound for it. But I just don't have that market. And me personally, I just don't really want to smoke because I don't know what it's really doing. The same way I kind of feel like I used to like carts, because carts are convenient for I'm a fucking dad. Right? So like, I can't smell like weed all the time. Like, I got to go pick up fucking 3 kids from school. And sometimes, I mean, I smell like blunt when I go do it. But, sometimes a cart is convenient. But, like, some of the gear in some of these carts, I'm like, damn, like, what really happens when you smoke this for fucking 5 years? You know? And that goes for not just weed. I mean, it could go to anything. We don't really know what's going to happen when you do something over and over and over again. Like, no one knows what happens when you bang fucking a full cc of growth hormone in your stomach every fucking day. But look at Sylvester Stallone. I mean, the guy's like 90 and he's buffer than both of us. So he must be happy with it. But we don't really know what has that done to him.
Yeah, for sure.
So, but, more power to you. If you're spraying it, spray it. I mean, you got people, it's just getting so goofy. Like, we're getting into the realm of like, this is something that I'm having trouble even understanding. You know what I'm saying? But then this is coming from a guy who has fish bags. Fish bags. Yeah. So I got my own goofy shit going on too.
They're pretty cool bags. Let's pop one on the.
Yeah, pop one up. We'll roll
pop one up, kid. I like it. fucking fish bags. Okay, so let's take it a step farther, right? So now you need not only a fucking cool die cut bag, but now you need a fucking cereal box to put it in. What do you think about that whole movement?
I think that it's smart, right? Because there's like a massive group of there's people right now that are walking into a Jungle Boys or a Flowery in Florida and posting it going, I'm fucking tapped in. You know what I'm saying? And like, dope.
Sheesh.
You know, if you think that, but there's people out there who are not as seasoned in this as we are, so it's hard for us to understand some of the shit that's happening.
No doubt.
But if you got to put it in a cereal box and you're getting more for it, fuck, that's fucking awesome. You know, me personally though, I like to service the smokers. The fish bag is something different because it's on the shelf. It's something different than you haven't seen before. Yeah. But it's not a gimmick to hide anything or to charge you more. You know what I'm saying?
Gotcha.
I want to service you, give you a deal. So now if I buy an ounce of weed from somebody for $150 or even $200, that's fucking straight AAA. That same ounce in a cereal box for $400 or $500, go fuck yourself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I don't even like cereal anyway. It's disgusting. It's all seed oils with the weed, basically. I mean, it's just to the point, it's like, it's getting too gimmicky, but I can see why it's working. And it's kind of clever. You know what I'm saying? I don't know.
I know. As much as I hate on it sometimes because I'm not doing it,
it's pretty fucking clever. Pretty fucking I wish I would have did that. You know?
I would. Yeah. I'm not gonna say I don't wish I would have did that because these fools are selling out, bro.
But I wonder who are these people that are like, I want to pay more because this is in a cereal box. Like, I just haven't met those people yet, but they are out there. You know. And another thing too, people be lying, right? You might hit up a guy. Let's say this. You hit me up online and go, yo, how much for the seafood? I'm gonna tell you $2,500. Right. That's a fucking lie. In Cali, I'm getting. Let's be
sure.
But I'm just gonna say that I'm getting this because now it ups the level. So the cereal box, you know, the guy might say, "Oh, I want 5 bands a pound because it's coming in the cereal box," and he's saying that. But let's be real, he might not be getting it. He might be, but he might not. We don't really fuck.
No, he's getting in the teens. He's got to pay for his packaging in his box, and he doesn't even have to put the box together. You get everything. You get packaging, boxes. You put the shit together yourself. It's a lot of work.
So what I do at home. And I'm in a competitive market. I'm in the middle of Humboldt.
Yeah, where you at, man?
Everywhere. I'm in Eureka. I'm a northern Humboldt person.
Born and raised?
Actually, I was born there. And, so basically, it's kind of a weird transition. I lived a lot of my life in Connecticut as well. Connecticut is like my second home.
Okay, East Coaster, all right.
So when my family first came to America, they went to Rye, New York.
Where you from? Where's your people from?
Yeah,
South Africa.
Yeah.
Oh, no shit. Okay.
So my dad and my uncles, they always fancied themselves as New Yorkers because that's where that's where they landed. You know.
Oh, for sure.
You can't tell them nothing. Like, no, you guys are not New Yorkers. You came here, you know, when you're like 25.
Yeah.
They're New Yorkers if you ask them. But so they end up settling in Connecticut. So I was born in Humboldt. I was there. In about third grade, I went to Connecticut, lived with my grandma. My mom was a dope fiend. My dad was a mechanic and a logger, so he couldn't have me all the time. So he would send me to Connecticut to my grandma.
Got it.
So I would do like third grade in Connecticut, come back to California for fourth grade, go back to Connecticut for sixth. I would kind of just go back and forth a lot. Yeah, I'd spend the summer here, go back here for the school year. I would go back and forth a lot, which to me, being from Humboldt, it's very much an island. So a lot of people are very closed-minded and isolated that are from there. So I consider it a massive blessing to be a person who can say, yo, I've lived in Connecticut because Connecticut is so centrally located to everything. You know, I've been to Fenway. I've seen people, you know what I mean? Like, I used to go to Yankee Stadium all the time on the commuter train. I've seen Paul O'Neill hit 2 homers in a day when I was a kid. You know what I'm saying? The Seinfeld episode, I was at that game where he hit the 2 in a row. Yeah. Dog. So I've seen a lot of shit. I've been to Smithsonian a bunch of times. You know, Connecticut is so centrally located, so it's a great place to, when you're a kid, I used to travel and go places with my family. But I am like a real Humboldt County, you know, native. I just had the opportunity to live other places.
That broaden your horizons. That's good, bro.
When I was in 7th grade, I was in Connecticut, and I caught my first pack from my brother.
Ooh, let's go.
And he's such a piece of shit.
Is
you
he?
could smell it from a fucking mile away.
He ain't double vacking on you?
Didn't he? There was no vax back then. This is like,
right.
Yeah, this is like he sandwiched bagged like 9 times and put it in a pocket of a thermal shirt and sent it to me. I'm like, my
that shit
grandma's
was
like grabbing it. Oh, you got a package from your brother? And I'm like, oh my God, I can smell it. Like, what the fuck is wrong with you? So everybody out there, you think you're fucking in this shit. I caught my first pack in 7th grade. Go fuck yourself.
Right.
Okay. But living in Humboldt, I would say, you know, raised, born, but had the opportunity to be seasoned other places.
No, I can see how that gamed you up and gave you a broader lens on things. You know what I'm saying?
And it helps to, you know, that's why I tell people who from there, like my son's age, they like the 19, 20-year-olds, when they were a little younger, I was telling them, bro, the first chance you get to a college and get the fuck out of here.
Yeah.
And they're like, oh no, because a lot of people are hooked up on this. They want to work on the hill. They want to flip packs. And I was like,
For sure.
When you get to college, that's when the real pack flipping begins.
That's where your cussies are, fool, and they're from all over the country, doggy.
Fuck. You know, so getting them to understand that is a fucking challenge in its own. But so I'm from Eureka. I'm like, you know, Humboldt is kind of like northern Humboldt, southern Humboldt, which a lot of people say northern Humboldt isn't a thing. It's just SoHum. But
what's the difference, bro, in your opinion? Like,
well,
just
southern
bust it
Humboldt
down.
is you know, very different, like microcultures, I would say. Eureka dudes, we more hustlers. We didn't live on the hill our whole lives. Like we sell everything. We do a little bit of everything. You know what I'm saying? We live in like, so Eureka is, there's no city for 3 hours every direction. So it is basically an island. It's a small ass city surrounded by mountains of people with weed. You know what I mean?
Okay, got you.
When those people want to have fun or those people need to get money, they would come down from the hills and land in our trap.
Got you.
So for the majority of my life,
tight.
I lived in one of the most lucrative, booming traps in the world, bro. Like
What?
on the fucking planet. You know,
Talk about it, bro.
You got to figure back then we're producing 82% of the country's weed. Humboldt County.
We're not talking 90s?
You know, 90s, you know, so everyone who grows weed, what they like to do, get high on drugs.
Yeah.
You know, so we were making a lot of money, having a lot of fun, literally doing whatever we wanted our whole lives. Up until about, you know, 2019, shit just kind of died out. But living there, Southern Humboldt is more of like a, you know, a very rural, very country. They talk a little different than us. They definitely act a little different, you know.
Really?
Yeah, we're, you know, Eureka has a lot of influence from Richmond, from Vallejo. You know, we're still in the 707 area code. So a lot of people from Vallejo, from Richmond, from Oakland, even from the city, a lot of people would venture up and come to Eureka, you know, and try to get a piece of the pie because it was booming. You know what I'm saying? Which, you know, we've done what every other cities. We've had small turf wars with people from out of town. We've built partnerships with people from out of town. We've been influenced by their culture and influenced their culture as well. You know what I mean? Southern Humboldt dude is more like not necessarily a hick, but they're just very stuck in their ways. To them, nothing matters except for the biggest piece of land, the biggest truck with the fucking quietest generator. That's what matters to them, you know. And in Eureka, we care about, you know, normal things like fashion or even, you know, what girl you're fucking. You know, out there they don't give a shit. They just all they care about is who grows the most weed, who has the biggest fucking truck. That's all they care about. You know, outside of that, they don't give no fucks about nothing. You know,
shit.
And there was like growing up, there was like a lot of rivalries. You know, with like
between Northern Humboldt and
no, for sure,
no shit.
Like, you know, because these people are like, they come from the hill. They come to our club or come to our bars to enjoy themselves. They get shit faced. They start acting crazy the same way, you know, we do. But we grew up kind of like fighting them a lot. You know, they're all like shit kicking hicks. Like they're invincible at some points, you know, or there'd be times when we were younger, we're like 16, 17, we're at the river bar. They'd pull up like 10 deep and just jump us, you know, because they're just shit faced. And it was just a back and forth type thing.
For sure.
It wasn't like a real, issue for me personally. Me and my boys are kind of international players. We're pretty much aligned and cool with everybody. You know? But it's very different.
Just generally speaking.
Humboldt's broken into north and south for a reason. The south is a very rural section. The north is, we have the college right there, Humboldt State University for a long time. We're kind of like, not the city folk. You can't call us that because you can be on one side of town and see the whole other side of town. So it's not a city, but we're more the city folk to them. You know what I mean?
I got you. That makes sense.
And I think, you know, a lot of people from SoHum, when we were growing up, were getting really rich at really young ages. You know what I'm saying? And in Eureka, you don't just have a backyard. You can grow 400 pounds. Like in SoHum, you can just grow in your backyard and make money when weeds cost $4,000 a pound. Everybody was getting rich down there, you know?
For sure.
We were getting rich other ways, so we had a little bit different movement about ourselves, you know what I'm saying? Like, we might sell crack, sell crystal, push heroin, pimp a bitch, whatever the fuck during our younger days. But a lot of that was being funded because people were coming from the hills and trading us weed for cents on the dollar. You know what I'm saying? Or we were, I used to make $8 a pound. This 50-cent shit is like a new thing. We used to make about $8.
What do you mean $8?
Like I used to $8. That was $8 Chuck.
$8
you know
Chuck over here. Holy shit.
We used to make a lot of dough, but I think the vibe is now becoming more of like a collective thing. You know, you're seeing much more unity in the game because there's less of us in it.
Yeah.
You know, growing up, everybody, 98% of our economy was based on marijuana. I mean,
oh, hell yeah.
It literally built our entire community.
I've heard that.
Soham was built by growers. I mean, the school, the fucking Mattil Center, all this stuff was built by growers, not by the state, not by any funded. Like, this was people with weed money that just decided to believe in their community. You know what I'm saying? So it was kind of weird to watch throughout my lifetime this transition of like watching the community turn on cannabis, demonize it, then legalize it, then try to demonize it again.
Yep.
You know, it's been a real weird transition. But then, like we were saying earlier, the era we're born in the 80s, you're born in the 80s, you've seen so much transpire within your lifetime that nothing can really surprise you.
Yeah.
You've seen everything change.
Yeah, bro.
Back and forth, different directions.
From the first video game to fill in the blank to
You know what I'm
fucking these
saying?
fucking glasses. You know,
Now you're in the video game.
You're in the video game.
Before you had to like be friends with a kid who had money on the block to play his Nintendo.
What's up, guys? I just want to give a quick shout out to my sponsors over at United Nutrients. Trusted by elite growers, United Nutrients delivers clean, reliable nutrition, trusted by top cannabis cultivators for enhancing plant health and maximizing yields, all while being easy to use. Affordable without compromising quality. United Nutrients offers premium nutrient solutions that remain affordable, ensuring growers get the best results without breaking the bank. Sustainability, cultivator-centered innovation. Developed through collaboration with cultivators, United Nutrients' science-backed formulations are designed specifically for cannabis, providing eco-friendly and efficient nutrient absorption to promote healthy and vigorous plants. Tell them Good Pizza sent you.
And now it's like fucking you can go anywhere and afford a fucking headset where you're in the game. And things have changed a lot. Weed community as well, though. But Soham's a very beautiful, beautiful place. And they don't have a lot of the problems that Northern Humboldt has, but they also don't have the socializing aspect of it.
Yeah, it sounds...
Because HSU used to be a big-time party school. And
it's not anymore?
No, not necessarily. They changed it to Cal Poly Humboldt. Arcata, the town where it's at, would never allow any corporate businesses to even open there. Like, you couldn't have like a Starbucks or a McDonald's inside Arcata. It was only local business.
Oh, that's cool, man.
Recently, Google bought a building there. So once Google bought that building, the school got purchased by Cal Poly. Now it's a tech school. Everything has kind of changed.
Oh,
I mean,
no
it's like,
shit, man.
It's like it used to be like a place where you go to the rugby house on a Friday night. It's the biggest party you've ever seen in your life. Every fucking weekend, everything was cracking.
Yeah.
To now, it's like there's no party and there's like 50 people walking by with raccoon tails out the back of their pants and fucking colored hair.
What
It's
the
like
fuck,
it's changed
bro?
a lot, bro. It's not the same.
Damn.
You know, and it used to be College of the Redwoods was in Eureka. It's our junior college, our JC. You know, a lot of Eureka was like student housing for that, and people would come from other places. They want to go to Humboldt to go to college. They know eventually they're gonna stumble on a plug or they're gonna get in somehow. You know, so that was the goal. Even a lot of HSU students, they just went up there to go to college because that's what their parents were gonna pay for, and they knew when they got there, like, first things first, I'm gonna get a house, I'm gonna get an indoor going. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
A lot of them did, you know, and a lot of the industry in our community was built on students who came and became a part of our community after graduation, you know, and a lot of them most of them don't even, at HSU, wouldn't even finish. They'd get in the weed game and be like, fuck this, I'm not going back to school.
Yeah. That makes sense, bro. I've interviewed a couple people with that story. Bro.
Turk Mansion went
Turk
to
Mansion,
HSU.
yeah, as a matter of fact. Yo, that was crazy. Turk Mansion was like, look, bro, I was going to go to San Diego or Humboldt, and I went to San Diego, I seen bars on the windows and shit. Like, man, fuck this shit. I went to Humboldt, and then look at his life now. Like, he's fucking crushing.
He's in.
He's
You know
in,
what I'm
dude. Yeah.
I would bump into sometimes later on in life, because you know my homie that's always with me, Germ, as my best friend that's in all the skits with me.
Okay, yeah.
He would always be like, because I did my elementary school and junior high kind of like in Connecticut, where I used to play soccer. I was pretty good at sports.
Okay.
But I would tell him, like, yo, I used to be good at sports, you piece of shit. You know what I mean? Because they have a softball team. They never invite me. I never get added on the team. I'm like, yo, what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, you're a limp-wristed pussy. We don't want you on the team, you know? Like, okay.
Yeah,
well, I would bump into people in Connecticut that I went to elementary school with in Humboldt. You know, I'd be like, yo, you used to ride the bus with you. And they're like, yo, no shit. How you doing, Jack? You know what I mean? I'm like, what you doing here? Like, oh, I came here to school just to grow weed.
Fuck.
And they get here, they go one school year, and then they drop out and they're in the weed game.
Damn, bro.
Which more power to them. Our community was built on people coming in. You know what I mean? And we experienced a massive boom during like that legalization period and everyone talks shit about this, the big money in the corporate weed. I remember in the beginning, every single motherfucker was like, I'm going to start this farm and big money's going to come in and buy it from me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, everyone thought they were going to have a farm for 2 years and then they were going to get bought out by BlackRock.
By the big
shit.
M's.
They literally thought that was going to happen.
Yeah.
I'm literally like, okay, good luck with that. And now it's like, fuck corporate cannabis. All you guys were lining up to suck corporate dick at one point. I watched every single one of you guys.
Damn, bro.
So it's been a change since legalization. You know, we used to have this just cracking ass trap city that was fun, this college in the town next door that was always providing entertainment and a new social group every couple of years. So it wasn't just the same goofballs, you know, we hung out with. And now it's just a graveyard, bro. That's like,
crazy.
It's hard to find. And I think that's the case with a lot of places that have been gentrified or been inhabited by big tech. Because during COVID, a lot of big tech people working from home didn't want to be in the city. So we got this massive wave of big tech people. All of our Airbnbs getting booked up for months during COVID. So when these big tech people, they come get one taste of, I'm sorry, I should have silenced that. They get a taste of the good life and they're like, I'm never going back to a city ever again. So now when big tech people come in like that, the prices of our houses are going up. It's hard to find people who are local now because they can't afford to live there. Everyone went to Reading or to Sac or to other places. So it's pretty much become like for a couple years there, almost like just a completely dead wasteland. We went from having hundreds of licensed farms to having less than 100. People tapping out, disappearing. And I do want to say this for the record. They recently had Reggae on the River, which is something we had every year that we'd always.
How was it, bro?
Well, I didn't go this year because I'm old,
Yeah.
right? And it's just a little gnarly, like 3 days. I can't even fucking handle it anymore. But
I
when I went for like 17 years when I was younger, and then they kind of stopped it. Now they brought it back. But
I heard
do
that.
want to say this.
Tell me about
There
this.
is a nightlife and a social life being built out right now, and it is starting to really pop, and we're getting people to come from everywhere. And the sole people responsible for that are Terp Mansion and Exotic Flavors.
No shit,
because
dude.
they sponsor every fucking event that happens.
Yeah,
bro. They
dude.
are literally keeping hope alive single-handedly
shit,
right
man.
now. And that dude that did Cannafest, you know, he's a great dude. They did that Cannafest in Eureka. So I was like, thank you for throwing something in Eureka, because a lot of people who aren't from Eureka, they think of it as like, you guys, growing up, Eureka had a pulp mill on the beach, right? So we were known as the stinky town because the pulp mill would let out a smell. So we grew up in a town that was nothing but loggers, fishermen, and dope fiends, right? With some weed kind of outside of the town and people doing their own indoors. But it was like a poor dope fiend town. It was a tweaker town. It was like Bakersfield 3.0. It's basically what it was. You know what I'm saying? So, and everybody in the town was below the poverty line. So like this is all the schools give you breakfast, lunch, and dinner even back then because everyone was poor.
Damn.
And we lived in a town no one wanted to go to. They got rid of the pulp mill. Things started changing. The gentrification started to kick in. The crime's way down. You know, so now it's like a really nice place to live and a great community. So it's cool that these dudes are like pumping their money back into it, get it back popping. You know,
that's cool, because, man.
You know, it was dead for a while, and they literally, I'm not gonna lie, thank you, fellas, because that Northern Nights Festival was a great success. This reggae was a great success. That Cannafest dude, he threw the first one in Eureka just on the strength. I'm like, thank you for throwing something in Eureka, because most people are they would never throw an event in Eureka because they're like, we don't want the scum to come. You know?
No doubt.
Oh, that's like just the locals. You know
that's just the locals, bro.
There was a famous YouTuber. I'm gonna get you the name of it. You could look it up. I'll get his name. But he travels everywhere. He's like a blogger, right? Mm-hmm. And he comes to Humboldt. He's there in Eureka 10 minutes. He's walking down the street. This town seems all right. Across the street, highway patrol pulls a dude over. The dude gets out, shoots the cop, then gets shot dead. Right in front of this motherfucker. This is a normal day in Eureka. I'm not even shitting you. This is like not abnormal. You know what I'm saying? He's like, I'm getting the fuck out of this town. Fuck this place. And he had like probably 200,000 subscribers on YouTube. So this is like everyone sharing these videos. Like, damn, did you see this dude? So that was like a little taste of like what it's kind of like. You know, it's a grimy town, but so much has happened in the last 3-4 years. It's becoming like a kind of like an expensive place to live. You know, we're
what's the houses go for?
A house you were paying $235 for 10 years ago, you're paying probably $4 to $6 right now.
Holy shit!
And it could be a piece of shit.
Damn.
But it's in a coastal community. It doesn't get hot. It doesn't get cold. And there's not much crime left. Yeah.
Huh.
And I don't know how they did it, but we had a massive homeless population for a while. I don't know if they just started beating the shit out of them and make them hide in the bushes, but they're not around like they used to. You know what I mean? It's cleaned up a lot.
That's cool.
And it's just weird to me, though, is all that weed money, when we had all those licensed farms, all that tax money, we never really saw anything happen from it. And I think that goes for a lot of Californians. Like, we were kind of thinking like this was going to like rebuild our schools, or people were okay with the taxation because like this is for the greater good. This might go somewhere. You know, we didn't know that Gavin Newsom was going to steal it all.
Yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean? He literally stole all the money, him and his people.
Yeah, yeah.
So, you know, we still have to buy your own supplies when you take kids to school. You know, like normally they would supply the paper and the pens and shit.
Yeah, sure.
Now they don't even supply that. So we were thinking the weed thing was going to be a good thing legalization wise because everyone was going to get a piece of the pie, and this was going to like rebuild our community in a way that made sense. We were much better off with it illegal and people just having illegal money pumping back into the stores. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
like,
yeah. Better
look
off.
at what the average grocery store in Humboldt used to do millions in sales,
I believe
bro.
it.
Like,
I believe it.
Even early 2000s, they were doing millions. You know what I'm saying? I looked up my shit one time. Like, how much have I spent here in 5 years? And I was like, holy shit.
Yeah.
This is crazy. So all these growers were just pumping money back in our community, and the community was thriving. Legalization happened. That shit went.
God damn.
Just dead zone. You know what I'm saying? Which it opened the door for more normal people to come live there. And another thing too is like a thing there, you could rent a house pretty easily back in the day. I mean, you remember you didn't need fucking 4 weeks of pay stubs and 5 times the rent. Back in the day, if you had a good interview with the landlord in person, he liked you, he gave it to you right there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And then shook his hand, waited till he left, brought in the crew, knocked down some walls, cut some holes in his floor, blew this shit the fuck up for about 3 years till he decided to stop by and got suspicious. But I either took it down or got busted. You know what I'm saying? This is a place where it's like everybody was involved in the cannabis. Like everybody. There was no person left out.
That's what I hear, bro.
Like, you know, there's like, you know, a lot of cops that were heavy in it, cop families that were heavy in it. Like everyone was in it, you know, and now it seems like nobody's in it.
Damn.
And people were like, figuring out what to do. They did this their whole lives. Like, well, damn, I got to go get a regular job.
Yeah, what the fuck? Where do we go from here?
Miserable. Oh, God.
Yeah.
So much divorce. Oh, fuck. These chicks went from fucking, you know, riding around the lifted Tacoma with the fake tits to fucking tits down to their belly button because they haven't been redone in 10 years to fucking driving a rental they fucking owe on, or you know, who knows what the fuck. It went bad. Lots of divorce when the weed shit crashed.
Fuck, dude.
A lot of chicks fucking ran off on the dudes.
Wow.
Like, what chick wants to be hugged up with a dude with fucking no personality, small pecker, living in the middle of nowhere? It's fun when you're making millions of dollars.
Yeah, it's fun.
Now that he's fucking driving for UPS, it's not as fun.
Now he's just a little shrimp dick bum.
Yeah,
you know
now she's back to the dark meat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? She's in the hood getting bang banged. You know, there's like 50 dudes from Soho right now. Like, is he talking about me? Babe, did you go to the hood and get banged? No, I'm just kidding. She did.
She did.
She did.
Hey, man, got the hood, got to eat.
But yeah, a lot of change.
Fucking hey, bro.
For the worse in the cannabis community. But then now you got some people, like I said, Luke and Cody, you got some people that like they just using this shit to their advantage to really rebuild back the community and get it popping.
Tight,
you know
bro.
what I'm saying? Like it's not.
That's
they're
tight.
really doing it. Like I'm sitting back like, holy shit, these motherfuckers got this shit cracking.
And their setups are crazy at these events. They're huge, bro. I'm about to get me a double fucking light on both side tent after I seen their setup last weekend, bro.
Glowing wall that
I'm like,
shows their
bro,
logo and
this thing's
shit?
fucking glowing, bro. That shit is fire, dude.
Well, I guess it only goes with the theme too. Is like I look at some people in cannabis, like I consider them like game changers. You know, those two especially, and even people outside of Humboldt. There's some people that's like they gonna keep building and growing no matter what anyone else does. They're not following trends. They're not like looking to others for inspiration. Like they're breaking the ground themselves.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, we don't have water? Cool. Dig a fucking 50-foot trench that's fucking 70 feet wide, make a fake pond that leaks into another fake pond that's the size of a football field, and then make the water crystal and clean and then run it to all these greenhouses. You know, they won't be stopped. You know, the growth will just keep expanding. So with a lot of people barely trying to stay alive, you have certain pockets in the industry that are game changers. You know, with the indoors as well. You see some people struggling to make it happen, barely paying their employees, and you see people like getting a new building every 6 months. You know. Some of that might be big money investment behind it. You could make that excuse like, oh, they have an investor, they have some paying, but it comes from like resilience and being like innovative in the game.
Sure.
You know, to do it. You know, some people who consider themselves growers, to like a lot of people in Humboldt, like that shit's laughable to me. Like some of these LA dudes. Like no offense to all of you, But it's laughable to me that you had a warehouse that your dad owned and grew in it for fucking 10 years and you think you're in the game. If you haven't spent a summer on the hill with no electricity, wondering what all your friends are out doing, having fun, running from helicopters, strapped because you might get robbed. If you haven't done that, you're not a grower in my eyes. I don't give a fuck. Growing your shit on your phone with an automated and 7 workers, you're just a fucking operator. You're a manager at best. You're not a grower. So just stop that shit.
I can see how you feel like that.
You know what I mean?
I can see how you feel like that, for sure.
It's the same way, though. Like, you're not going to go to Medellin and, like, brag about being a coke dealer.
Yeah.
They're going to be like,
it's regular shit.
Fucking nerd. You know what I'm saying? So, not to say no disrespect to them. Some of them are producing great shit. But in my eyes, a grower is kind of somebody who just tried and true, like, went through it, you know? Even a trapper, though. Like, if you haven't lost a couple boxes and like been on the edge of your bed like in tears and just crushed and like sick for like a month wondering how you're gonna bounce back, then are you really in it? Have you really been in this shit? You know what I mean? I'm sorry, but certain things, it's like you wear like stripes, you know? It's like, you know, certain people have been in the game and you can tell they've been through it, and some people are like kind of pacified and like walked onto it.
Yeah, they walked through it. They had a couple homies who were doing it big. You know,
that's how it is.
Had like 1 or 2 box plays.
Yeah, you know like if you only sell weed at a facility with an armed guard,
that part.
You're a bitch.
That's some new shit.
I'm a bag flipper. You see, I pulled up with 30 on.
Yeah, he pulled up with 30, guys.
When I leave here, sell those. Sometimes when I pull in the sack, I'll run through 3-4 pounds in zips just on a weekend being here, just on my Instagram. People hitting me up. You know what I mean? I'll pull up and meet you with a QP. Anywhere, I don't give a fuck what color you are or who you are. You know what I'm saying? And some people would never do that. They would never,
for sure,
bro. It's not even a question. You know, so you have some. It's just, I think the industry's broken into 2 groups. You have people who really fucking in it, always been in it. And then you have kind of like these
passerbys,
walk-ons. You know,
walk-ons,
spoon-fed almost. But they, not to say they haven't put in the work. You know, but it just wasn't a struggle for them. And the struggle kind of like gives you your brand in a way. Like you build your brand off who you are, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, of course.
It's just a different vibe, I think, down there. And then there's stuff down there that I don't understand because I'm not from there. So I'm assuming there's a lot of people who started with a 1-lighter in a fucking apartment, you know, or a 2-lighter at their friend's house and built their way up to 100 lights. I'm not saying there isn't. But, you know, a lot of the warehouse type shit, the industry type shit, if you haven't fucking, you know, not showered for 3 fucking days because you're on the hill, or shot at a bear that was stalking you while you were watering, or stepped on a hornet's nest and had to ride in the back of your stepdad's truck on the highway doing like 70 where he blew your fucking eardrums because he wouldn't let you in the car because I stepped on a hornet's nest one day.
Jesus.
And ran and fucking tore myself up in the bushes. And I'm like, I'm fucked up. Like, I'm going to get on the quad. Keep in mind, too, a lot of this, like, growing weed on your own property shit, that's very new. Like when we were coming up, no one did that.
Doing guerrilla grows and shit.
Years. You would get a property, you would find the closest plots that were BLM, you know, Bureau of Land Management. We'd grow on their shit. Or we'd grow on abandoned spots, but it was never on our own spots. So it was always like we were leaving the cabin, getting on quads and going out to spots and doing it there. You know what I'm saying? It was never on our own shit.
For sure.
So it was always like some weird, you know, risk to it. But I was fucked up. I stepped on a hornet's nest, ran through brush, like thick-ass brush, full speed to get away. And I'm like, I got to go back. Like, I'm fucked up. Like, no, like, we're working. You know what I'm saying? Later that day, I come into a patch. I used to tie a string with a fucking rat trap to every plant, and I put a peanut on it. Because rats and mice will really fuck with your shit, right? I'd throw bait. I mean, you know, probably sick. I've killed all types of wildlife for no fucking reason. I'd throw rat bait all around my patch, all over the ground. I came into a patch after I've already been all fucked up. I got sting marks all in my back arms and my shoulder where they attacked. And I see a skunk with its foot in the trap.
Oh,
and
no.
I'm like, fuck. So I'm like, and my stepdad, he's a cool dude. He's like a Humboldt legend, bro. Like he's from Honeydew, you know what I mean? Born and raised. He's like a fucking legend, though. He's been in this shit since the 60s.
Fuck, dude.
He was really, really rich at one time. He went to prison for 7 years, you know what I'm saying? He's like really in it. But he's like really against guns and hunting. So like,
really?
Yeah, he's like not a hunter. He doesn't really like killing animals or shit. Never really, you know, when he was a kid, when growing up out there, they would go in the woods, kill shit, then eat it. That's how they would eat. You know what I'm saying? But he's like not really into killing shit. So I'm like, I'm going to shoot this fucking skunk and like call it a day. And he's like, no, we're going to get it out of that trap. We got to free it. I'm like,
bro,
all right.
This is
going to take a 5-gallon bucket and I approached it.
This is going to go real bad.
Put the bucket on it, right? Boom, I hold it down. I get its leg out the side. I let its leg out and it like Bronco bucked the bucket off and sprayed. And I don't know if you've ever been sprayed by a skunk close, but it like almost blinds you, like it locks up everything up here where you can just go like this is all you want to do. And so I smelled like shit and I felt like shit. And they were like, well, you can't get in the cab of the truck. Like, you got to ride in the back because I had to go home that night. So it's fucking. So I've had like horrible days. We've had days out there like when side-by-sides first came out. Fools would be shit-faced working on the hill, roll it, break their legs in half, and be out there in the middle of nowhere. You know what I'm saying? I've dropped a tree on the homie, broke his leg.
Fuck.
So things happen out there. It's nuts. There's no hospital for 2 fucking hours.
2 fucking hours.
So it's a dangerous occupation that you have to go through shit. So it's hard to like recognize somebody as like, oh, you're a master grower. You're a crop steerer. Like, I'm a crop steerer. Like, so you grow sea of green? I don't get it. You're corny. Or a master grower. Like, okay, so your automated system waters it for you? You watch it? Cool, thanks. So if you ever really like been like, you know, if you haven't grown in beds with soil and fucking bred spider mites once or twice, then fuck you. I'm not buying what you're selling.
Ain't fucking with it, folks.
Yeah.
Ain't fucking with it. What's up, guys? Just want to take a quick second to shout out my sponsors over at Kayakor. Clean cocoa trusted by top cultivators. Kayakor premium grade clean cocoa core is trusted by and respected by cannabis cultivators for optimal plant health and performance. It's all about the terps and quality first before yields, which is driven through clean 100% core, which provides smooth stratification throughout the media. Sustainable and eco-friendly. Sourced from eco-friendly coconut fiber produced in our 100% sustainable operation in India. Kaya provides an environmentally conscious solution without compromising cultivation quality. Kaya washes the cocoa multiple times to ensure a clean starting base with less salinity from other cocoa manufacturers. The plastic pot is 100% biodegradable for a sustainable solution. Tailored for cannabis growth, Kaya Core products are developed from direct feedback and collaboration with top cultivators, offering superior water retention, root aeration, and nutrient absorption for healthier, more vigorous plants. They buffer the cocoa to less than 0.3 EC with calcium nitrate to provide the cultivator with a strong starting point for transplant. You will be shocked how clear the runoff is from this clean cocoa. Kaya uses coarse ground cocoa core to achieve the 70-30 blend versus perlite or chunks. Go hit up Kaya Core. Tell them Good Pizza sent you.
So I'm born in Humboldt, kind of did back and forth childhood from Connecticut.
Yep.
When I was like in 8th grade, so the first time I ever smoked weed, I was in a trailer park in Trinidad, which is like northern Humboldt, at my boy Jeremiah's house. And my dad, he was a mechanic and a logger, so he'd had like a lot of people would watch me. My mom would just be out gacked out of her mind.
Okay.
So I used to stay at my boy Jeremiah's house sometimes for like 3-4 days at a time when my dad was on the hill working.
Sure.
And Jeremiah was like his dad sold dope and sold weed, so he would have like this tin thing, like where you just put the cookies in, you know, like those British cookies, and it would be like filled with weed with zigzags and scissors, and it'd be under the couch.
Shit.
And one day, we took it out and took some bud out of it in a rolling paper, and we went in the woods, and it took us a while. It took us like 10 tries. We rolled a joint and smoked it.
Yeah.
We were like, this is like the summer of 3rd grade.
Oh, tight. Damn.
We were fucked up. Keep in mind, I had an older brother too, who was like a skateboarder who banged Metallica and got ripped and hammered all the time.
Yeah, dude.
Like my brother got drunk and barbecued for like 30 years. That's like all he did was party and barbecue.
No shit.
Really cool dude. Actually, he was really cool dude till he got sober. Stopped hanging out with him once he got sober. Turned into a fucking pussy. Yeah.
Damn,
it's almost
dog.
like the only person I would ever in the world convince to become an alcoholic because he's more fun. It's the only one because I hate alcohol.
That's terrible.
But so
You don't drink?
no, I don't drink.
Yeah, me neither.
No, I stopped
too.
really drinking when I was like 22.
Oh, you stopped early. Stopped about 30,
Yeah, 'cause
35.
I drank from like probably 11 years old to like 22. And then when I say drink, I mean in my teenage years, like probably every day. You know what I mean?
Shit.
I didn't really go to high school.
I was like a weekend warrior.
Yeah,
didn't
I
do
was
the
like
everyday
shit-faced every Bud Ice and then Hennessy with cherry Coke almost every night.
Oh, you a bad motherfucker.
Yeah,
Why?
I was an alcoholic pretty much
Yes,
at a
you
young
were,
age.
sir.
We were drinking every day.
Yes, you were, yeah.
Functioning.
By definition
But we were
of,
partying
yeah.
every single day. It never really, so 7th grade, I smoked weed once in 3rd grade. And then I remember like 5th and 6th grade, sometimes my brother's friend Jeremy Bargy would like make me take a bong hit. She's like, take a fucking bong hit or I'll beat your ass. You know what I mean? And I'd get all ripped and they'd laugh at how I was acting. And shit, it's like entertainment for them. 7th, 8th grade, going into 8th grade, I was actually in Connecticut at this time. And we were getting we were getting like really good brick weed that was like lime green. It had seeds, but not that many. And it was like some Jamaican weed type. It was like really good brick weed at that point. We called it Ill Bud.
Ill Bud.
And so 8th grade, we were buying like eighths, buying quarters. Well, this dude, he was like this kind of like the neighborhood weed man. He was like, 30 years old. He'd sell the weed to us. He was a cool ass dude though. We'd go to his house and shit, you know what I'm saying? He was like, yo, do you guys have triple beams at the school? I was like, yeah, we have them in science class. He's like, you should fucking take one. Bring it to me.
You feel me?
And I'm like, all right. So like I went and took them all. Oh, dude, I loaded them in 3 different backpacks and put them on the outside of the school, like on the side of the building outside of an emergency exit. Wait till school got out, brought them to him. And he's like, damn, like this is dope. You know what I mean? So he ended up giving me like my first QP.
Oh,
at
nice,
that point.
dude.
So I broke it all down. I used to put the weed on a piece of cardboard and tilt the cardboard and scrape it upward to get the seeds out. Got all the seeds out of it. Started getting it cracking at school. So 8th grade, I was like, smoking weed every day, kind of like, hanging out. I just quit sports at that point.
Yeah.
And that's kind of what got my start. And it kind of helped me get like, I had a lot of older friends, because it was a time where it's like, there was no boundaries on who you would kick it with back then. You could be like 15 with like a 25-year-old homie that you hung out with shit
no
on
doubt.
the block. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, dude, that was regular shit.
Yeah, it's not like that too much anymore.
No, you're a creep, bro. You're influencing youth.
Yeah, it's like, no, we all had like older homies.
Old ass homies, bro. Yeah.
Like a way older group that I would like was accepted by, that would like kind of look out for me in a way, not necessarily stop me from getting high on shit, but would look out for me. You know what I'm saying?
You had to be really bad though.
You had to be a fucked little kid to kick it with those dudes.
For sure.
They didn't want the nerds kicking around, what I'm saying, for sure. Like, I was definitely troubled and fucked up.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
straight up,
like,
dude. Straight up.
You could see it from a mile away. You know what I mean? And I'm redheaded, too. So
I fucks with the little homie.
Yeah, like, I'm like a little redheaded white boy, too. So, like, I could be any race. If you got red hair and you're white, you're like, you could be anything. Who knows really what you are?
Yeah, really
shit. We're a different breed, So
Irish, Russian, fucking Sicilian, fucking who knows,
we accepted by them all.
Yeah,
no doubt. Oh, redheaded white boy, they're different.
That's a fact, bro. That's a fact.
And we fuck a lot of different pussy too, because like we're like a little piece of like meat to a chick, especially
rare,
a chick with a different nationality,
rare flavor.
They like it. So after I got that first QP, I kind of like, that's when I really. Honestly, it got into like selling weed. When I was a kid in Humboldt, it wasn't like a thing to me because it was everywhere. Like everyone grew weed. My mom was a criminal. My dad worked in the hills, where a lot of people don't realize this, but the Mexican population. People think like, oh, when the 215 days, the Mexicans came, shit like, and they kind of like took over Humboldt for a while. They were in this shit a long time ago, but they were slick. They would come up north to become a part of the logging industry. Okay. And when you work for a logging company for a long time, you get the keys to certain gates and certain roads, and you have access to mountains that no one else has. So these fools were really smart. They would come up here to be a part of the logging industry and then bring 4 or 5 cousins and set them off in the woods, places they know they already logged or they weren't going to log, and show them how to run water to it, you know what I'm saying? And then they were back there on a normal basis, so I had a perfect reason to be back there to drop off supplies.
Holy shit.
So early on, like, I would be in like Cacho Ranch, like a big logging ranch in Bridgeville up on Highway 36. I would like be hanging out there with my dad, and I would just see weed and be around weed and smell weed. It was not a big deal. Yeah. Till I went to Connecticut and I realized that it's very different. Like there was times like, even speaking of older homies, like I told an older homie one, like, oh, I'm from this place called Humboldt. And he's like, dog, you're from Humboldt? That's how we got the idea to have my brother send the pack.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And people would like know what it was, and I would be tripped out. How the fuck? Yeah,
we all knew, bro.
This place is
from Jersey. We knew.
I really had no idea how the fuck they knew. I never thought in a million years. I didn't know.
Humboldt, Mendocino. These were words that we hear. Like, yo,
100%.
Could you imagine?
Being a kid, I really didn't know that.
Yeah,
I
because you don't know. You're from it.
To me, you know what I'm saying? I used to get paid to like clean up cat shit out of really big ass greenhouses and shit back in the day. Like I didn't know really like weed was a thing. Yeah. So I ended up getting my first QP. Started selling weed. It kind of opened up my network. I stopped kicking it with my friends that I played sports with and got into like a whole different crowd.
Oh yeah, you did.
And that is actually when it became fun. You know what I'm saying? I was like, selling weed is so fun. It's like such a weird high to get off on.
It is.
Like, nothing, like even right now, like I'm 42, I'm a sports dad. I have money, but I'm still going to sack up this 3Ps, drive to Sac for 3 days and get them off. Yeah, because I just live for this shit. Fact. You know what I'm saying? It's fun. It's fun. And then the people I meet are awesome. You know what I mean? Now, keep in mind, I don't recommend anybody else do that. You'll get yourself shot. Yeah. I move different. I know what I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I let people know on the phone, like, yo, I met you on the internet. I'll come meet you with a QP right now, because you would think QP, that's not enough weed. people kill motherfuckers over quarter ounce of weed. Watch the first 48. Some of the shit people are dying over is nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's a
but I'll
fact.
tell people on the phone, like, yo, hey, just a heads up. Like, if you're thinking you're going to pull some shit or anything, I'm like, not that kind of white dude. Like, I'll smoke you. Like, I'll shoot you because it's cloudy outside. Like, I really will kill you right now, bro. Like, in the parking lot of this Planet Fitness, if you're going to pull over here and try something. No, it's good, bro. Like, I don't even move like that. Perfect. You know? And now I done met crazy, like, without the internet stopped tomorrow, I could stop in almost every city in the whole Northern California, and I got 5 people I could stop by the house. They pump, I'm there, and they even spend the night if I want to.
Make a couple calls, clear you out.
You know what I'm saying? I'm there,
shit.
you know? So it's selling weed is like such a fucking, it's such a crazy profession to be involved in because you're like one of the few people on earth that's doing what they love.
Yeah, right.
And it causes a energy about you that's like pretty unstoppable, you know, to normal people and people also in the games. Like, you're like one of the few people on earth do what they love. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, chiropractor, he might do what he loves, but really?
Yeah, you really want to do this all day?
Some of these people stink.
Yeah.
They have attitudes. I'm in really a lot of pain. You didn't adjust me right last time. You know what I mean? Plus, chiropractor's kind of scary because, like, you're popping it and then, like, waiting to see if you paralyze them and shit. It's like, it's all made up. You know what I'm saying? You don't know what the fuck's going to happen. You start cracking these people's necks and shit. Like, it's a gamble every day. You can kill someone.
Yeah.
And let me grab your neck and go like that. And like, oh, did he die? Okay, he's alive.
Cool. He's cool.
You know what I'm saying? So at least weed, you know what to expect. It has this unexpected era too. But so 8th grade kind of really like left my sports friends, started selling weed. Ended up going to 9th grade. I went to high school, Valley Regional High School in Connecticut. And I went for like maybe like 40 days. And I just like, I can't do this shit. You know what I'm saying? I had to tell my grandma, like, and my grandma is such a beautiful woman. She's like, living in California, my dad was like a blue collar worker. My mom was a dope fiend. So when I'd be with my mom, sometimes shit would be bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, it would be bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, there would be people who would leave paper bags of clothes on their front porch for me, like in my neighborhood, because I didn't have shit. You know, like we were down bad. You know, mom sometimes would like give you the key to a car and be like, see that car over there? Like, live in it, you guys. I'm gonna be back in 2 months. I'm going to jail. You know, and I'd be like, whoa, like that's crazy. Like, it would be wild. But like, I've slept on the living room floor like the worst dope houses that ever existed in Eureka as a kid.
Christ.
But I also had really good times. When I go to Connecticut, my grandma lives in Essex, Connecticut. Like, Stephen King was one of our neighbors. Like, she had dope, bro. Like, so I'm coming from a really nice part of Connecticut. I've had both ends. I've had it really, really bad.
Yeah, sure.
You know what I mean? And I've had it really, really good. So it kind of gives me a good mix. Well, I explained to my grandma, like, I can't go to high school. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't do it. You know? And she's like, what the fuck? Like, she knows I'm not getting bullied or picked on because I'm a cool dude. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I just couldn't, like, mentally do it. Like,
Like,
I'm literally in class and I'm smart enough, like humanitarians or whatever. I'm like, none of this shit's true. This is all a fucking lie. Like, early on, like, I'm getting so stoned, like,
your life
this is all
knowledge.
a lie.
Yeah,
I don't even want to know this shit. What the fuck am I going to use math for? I have a scale. I know these additions. I don't need none of this shit. You know, so like, a couple months into high school, I just quit. And I was like, I just stopped going. And then I started trapping real hard. And then they stopped selling alcohol at 8 o'clock at night in Connecticut.
Okay.
One night, me and my homies, we took his mom's car while she was passed out, and we broke the back door off a package store.
Let's go.
And filled the whole car with 30 packs of Bush.
Fire.
And a bunch of private stock.
Okay.
And drove it to the crib and started selling it. So like 2 days after we started selling it, we get busted. We get arrested. So, and then, so I was like, damn. So the robbery thing, the burglary thing wasn't nothing new, because like when I was a kid in Eureka in California, my mom's a dope fiend, like me and my homies sometimes would just go break into houses during the day. It's just like, not even like break in, it's just something we just did. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
We're like, you know, 5th grade, we might like hop over a back fence and just go in someone's house and see what they got.
Yeah.
And so that was like not foreign to me when I was doing it in Connecticut.
Sure.
So we busted into the package store, made a little bit of money, got caught. We all got put on probation. I went to a party and my friend stole a wallet out of someone's car, which was fucked up because the people at the party was all our homies, right? Mm-hmm. Well, we get like jumped because of it by like some older dudes. Mm-hmm. And I hit one of the dudes in the head with a skateboard. And it fucked him up. You know what I'm saying? He was like fishing.
Hit him with the trucks?
Yeah, he was like on the ground fishing and shit.
Oh,
fuck.
fuck.
You know what I mean? It was kind of scary.
Yeah.
I got busted for that. I got arrested for it. So now I'm on like 2 different types of probation. They're talking about putting me like in a boys' home, this place called St. John's. And my grandma's like, what the fuck? Like, hell no. So she paid a lot of money for her lawyer. We made a deal that I would leave Connecticut and not come back till I was 25. At
Damn.
that time, my mom had just got out of prison and she's in a halfway house. So she's clean, and I'm like kind of reconnect with her, like, hey, I need to come out there, you know? She's like, oh yeah, come out. Everything's set up, it's good. Like, I'll sign the papers, we're good.
Yeah.
I get off the plane, she's like, I gotta be back at the halfway house in an hour. You're gonna go stay with your brother. I'm like, oh fuck. This is
what was
crazy.
that scene like?
Oh, it's like he's like in this trailer park. It's all Pisces. No one speaks English. And keep my older brother's name is Jose. He's half Mexican.
Okay.
My mom's first baby's daddy's from Mexico City.
Got you.
So he's like living in this trailer park, and I'm like, which trailer's yours? He's like, that one. It's like one of those little ones you'd see behind a car. You have to like roll up to make tall. Yeah, I'm like, holy fuck, we're gonna live in that. And he's like, yeah. So like, he has the barbecue set up outside his normal.
Yeah,
way.
he does.
So he's like fucking. He's a cook at this restaurant, so he would leave every day to go to work. And I've been gone in Connecticut. I really didn't know many people left. I had some family there, you know what I mean?
Sure.
But I don't have a car. So I start fucking basically just smoking weed by myself in the trailer for a little bit. I get bored, so I tell my mom. My mom's in the halfway house for probably the first like 4 months I'm in California.
For sure.
I just kind of spent it just low-key hanging out with my brother, but I tell her, like, I'm kind of fucked up. I need to meet some people, sign me up for school. So I went to a continuation school. Cause I was
Okay.
now I'm like a year behind, right?
For sure.
So I go there. Immediately, continuation school is like a fucking breeding ground for people who want to smoke and sell weed and fuck up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
So the rejects.
So I built a little bit of a crew there at school, and because I was considering like, damn, I don't really, you know, what am I gonna do? I don't want to be. At one point I was like, when I turn 18, maybe I should just join the military.
Oh,
and, like,
boy.
get the fuck out of here, because I just didn't. I kind of went stale.
That was an option. That was
not
an
knowing
option.
anybody, living in this
For
tiny
sure.
trailer, I kind of became miserable.
Yeah, yeah.
I was getting high and shit.
So you're
but-
18 at this time in the trailer.
No. So I'm like, this is like 9th grade.
9th grade. Oh,
I'm
fuck,
like,
dude. Probably 13,
not even
14.
have a license yet. Yeah, not even driving yet.
No doubt.
So my mom gets out the halfway house, gets a fucking house immediately. And I used to trip like, where the fuck did she get the money to do this? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
She
no
gets
doubt.
out the halfway house, immediately gets a 2-bedroom house in a nice part of Eureka called Quinton.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, oh, this is dope. So I got my own room. Things
Nice.
are looking up, right? And in Quinton, there's a group of dudes called Quinton Block, the Quinton Boys, right? And they're like 30 deep. And so I would walk by the park. They'd be there every day. And I kind of, hey, what's up, y'all? And some of them knew my brother, and they'd say what's up to me, you know? And
Yeah.
after like 3 weeks of walking by, I kind of just stopped, walked up to him, and got stoned with him and like made friends with him. So this became like
Sure.
my clique, right? So from like 14 to 17, I hung out in Quinton, which is his own part of Eureka.
Okay.
And I ran with Quinton Block, the Quinton Boys. It was like, and this was crazy too, 'cause there was like way older homies in our crew.
Yeah.
Sequoia Park, anybody ever been to Humboldt? Go to Sequoia Park. It's a really world famous park. It's a park in the middle of town that has a crazy redwood forest inside of it. You can walk through.
Oh, shit.
And now they
Cool.
have a skywalk where you can walk on the top of the trees and shit. It's connected
Oh,
to
I've
the
seen
tree.
that.
Yeah,
I've
so
seen that.
I
Okay, that's
grew
what-
up a block from that park.
No
in
shit,
Humboldt.
man.
Yeah, and we were the
Okay.
Quinton Boys, so that park was like our territory.
Tight.
And so you can drive through the park. At the bottom is called the Duck Pond. It's like a parking lot where we would be down there 30, 40 deep every day smoking weed. And then people would come after work every day and just find little pockets in the park to get stoned and get drunk
Oh,
and
that's
chill.
cool, man.
It was like a fucking, like a People's Park in Berkeley similar.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? Like everyone's there just vibing, you know what I mean? But it was
Yeah.
our park.
That's
so I
tight.
would sell a lot of my weed there. But I was, at this point, I'm buying weed from my older brother, getting
Right,
taxed, barely making $50 off an ounce, and I'm smoking my 50 with my friends, you know what I mean? So we're there. I made friends. So I started to make friends. I was kind of like part of a crew, and we lived in a nice neighborhood. And one day, we get a knock on the door, and this fucking little like hillbilly motherfucker with a missing tooth is at the door. I'm like, what's up? He's like, where's your mom? And like kind of just walks in. I'm like, Ma, like, this dude's here for you. And it's her husband. I never even met this dude. I didn't even know she was married.
Oh,
He
shit.
just got out of prison from a case they caught together.
Oh, shit.
And so he's like, hey, what's up? I'm Jerry. You know, I'm your stepdad. I'm like, oh, what's up, bro? And I'm like, look at my mom. I'm like, what the fuck? Why you didn't tell me about
Yeah,
this? You know,
dude.
I don't know what to expect here. Because
Yeah.
growing up, my mom had a boyfriend who was a biker. And this dude was like a ruthless psychopath. Like, you know what I'm saying? He like
Yeah.
cooked dope and shit. We lived a crazy life because of this
Whoa.
dude. So I'm like, not knowing this dude has a missing tooth. He's fucking tiny. He's like a little dude. I'm like, what the fuck's going on here? You
Yeah,
know?
yeah.
So he's there about 30 days and he's like gone every day. Like in the morning he just leaves. And about 30 days in, I hear like a burnout outside the house. He's backing a brand new truck into the driveway. He went and bought like a brand new F-150, like brand new off the lot.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, this is your truck? He's like, yeah, I just bought it. I'm thinking, how the fuck did he do this, right? And he leaves with his friend and comes back. And this is like this is in 2000.
Yeah.
he comes back and he has like a brand new Durango when those came out, and he like parked that. He's like, "This is for your mom. I just bought this for him." I'm like, damn, this is nuts. And then like over the course of the next couple months, I figured out who he was, like what was happening, because they were like they'd bring garbage cans full of weed into the house and just weigh up pounds for hours.
Damn.
Like, damn, I struck fucking gold.
Yeah, you did.
Like I got a crew, and my stepdad is literally the weed hill god.
Yeah.
So I'm
yeah,
like, this is fucking dope. Like
Yeah.
I like felt like my life had purpose. Like this is what I'm supposed to do.
So you're 16 at the time, about
16, going on 17, 18,
Okay,
you know what I'm saying?
okay.
When I first get my first car, he buys me a 5.0. That's my first
what
car.
the
Yeah, so
fuck?
I'm like, things are looking up.
Shout out to him.
And so like everything's going good. He decides like, yo, I need some help like on the hill. So I'm about to turn 18. He's like, you know, most people when they turn 18, like back in the day, a lot of young people, you won't understand this, but when you turned 18 back in the day, your shit was packed by the door.
Yeah.
And your parents gave you a farewell. We love the fuck out of you.
Yeah.
But you're 18.
Unless you went to school or something.
Unless you
was
were
out
up
of
to
there.
something, bro. Your shit was packed by the door. And like a lot of, and I would never do that to my kids.
Hell no.
But
they can barely wipe their ass when they're 18, bro.
you know what I'm saying? But at that time, we were also like a lot more capable than today's
Yeah,
youth.
because nobody's watching us, bro.
Yeah,
We're
we were
latchkey
just
kids.
doing our
bro.
shit.
Yeah, dude. Fucking single
So-
mom working all day. Yeah, bro.
Some people were pumped. Like, cool, I get to leave. You're not going to trip. I don't come back.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, bro.
But he was like, you're about to turn 18. Like, what do you want to do? You know, and I'm like, well, I want to work on the hill. But I'm not 18 yet. He's like, well, I'll ask my partners. And they asked, and they both said no because I wasn't 18 yet. And I'm like, well, you got, like, you know, it's like, I'm 17. After this season, I'll be 18. Like, let's do it, you know? And
Yeah.
I know. I'm like, talk to him again. Like, you know, I'm like begging him. Like, I want to do this so bad.
Yeah.
Well, one partner says yes, then another one says no, so it wasn't unanimous. My stepdad ended up getting in a big ass argument with the dude. Like they almost had a falling out. And for some reason, this dude ended up getting hit in the head with a baseball bat by somebody and like turned into a veggie.
Oh,
so that
shit.
spot became available.
Yeah.
So I'm like,
sure did.
dope, I'm in.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm taking his place. I'm
Yeah.
thinking I'm about to become like a partner in this. This is crazy.
For sure.
Dude, no. None of that happened. I spent fucking my whole summer up there being worked like a fucking piece of shit to the bone to get like fucking 16 pounds out of
Fuck.
thousands. You know what I'm
Fuck.
saying? That's just how it was when you're young coming up.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
what I
no
mean?
doubt. You earn your stripes.
And I would come up too because a lot of people in the hills back then, if your crop had any mold, they'd burn it.
Oh, no
So
shit.
they would get rid of moldy weed.
There was no blasting or nothing like that.
No. Like
nobody's
it
blasting
started to
yet.
mold, separate that shit and get it away from the healthy shit.
Sure.
Burn it.
Sure.
You know what I'm saying? But I'm like, I straight told this dude one day, if you burn that, I'm gonna shoot you with this Mini 14. I'm
Yeah.
taking all that home.
Yeah,
So I had
yeah,
this factory. I'd come from the hill.
my
I'd spend my whole summer on the hill. And when I come back to town, my whole crew would be waiting. And
Yeah.
we'd just go through hundreds of pounds of moldy weed and cut the mold off.
Yeah, yeah.
And this isn't with trim scissors. These like regular scissors to
Oh,
cut paper
fuck.
and shit. This is how we rolled.
Yeah.
But I would just like, I would sell pounds of molded weed with the mold cleaned off of it and make so much fucking money. And I did that for years. So like first 3-4 years on the hill, I'm just having my way. But keep in mind though too, I'm not having a summer like everybody else. Everyone else is having fun. But I am coming back balling and doing my thing. Because working on the hill back then, it's not like you don't go home every night and shit. Like you maybe went to town once a week.
Yeah.
And you better hope you had some pussy lined up. Because
Yeah.
if she flaked, you're going back up that hill. We don't care.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's just how it was.
Yeah,
you know?
no doubt.
It's hard to keep a girlfriend when you're on the hill.
Yeah, I bet.
You know,
I
and it's
bet.
even anybody from Humboldt knows, like during the season when the husbands used to be up on the hill, the wives would be down there in heat.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was prime hunting.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I know what
they
you
were
mean,
sticking
bro.
to the chair when they fucking stood up. But so I would miss out on my summers, but I really didn't give a fuck at that point because I would always have money and always be able to take care of everybody around me. And then when I was like 21, we got camped on for the first time, which is they flew us and it's weird. They let you know back in the day. Now they kind of just show up with a convoy and just fuck your shit up.
Yeah.
Back then they would give you a heavy fly. You know what I'm saying? They
Yeah.
want you out of there. They don't want to be chopping down your weed and worry about someone with a gun, or
Yeah.
they want you completely gone. They didn't want to catch you there, right? So they started flying us heavy. I'm like, damn. Now I'm starting to get that feeling like, fuck, I just spent my whole summer. We're going to get nothing. And that's exactly what happened. We got
No
camped
doubt.
on. Didn't get shit. So I say, fuck it. I'll give it one more year. Go up there a second year. Our neighbor shot somebody's arm off at the gate. So like it was like kind of like a news story where a dude was running down the highway with his arm missing because
Oh, shit.
And
We hit him with a shotgun?
He hit him with a shotgun,
Yeah.
blew his whole fucking arm off.
Fuck, dude.
And I don't know what they had going. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
This could have been a dispute. It could have been an accident. I don't know, but it caused a lot of fucking attention just for our, like, Wilder Ridge is a pretty small little stretch of Honeydew. So the second time they camped us, I was like, fuck, this sucks. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I'm not going back up there. And that's when I got into growing indoor. I talked my older brother into his little apartment. We blew up his bedroom. He lived in his living room for a little bit, and then I ended up getting my own little spot in Samoa Beach where I had like I was weird too. Everyone used to hate on me, but I would grow under 600s. I would try to stretch it out and do more 600s than Thowis.
Okay,
and that was my style.
Okay,
and it just kept rolling. Like, so many opportunities in the game are going to give you a reason to quit and like just go the straight life or go another route. But I just kept going. Like, camped on multiple times, fucking pushed it all indoors. Now I'm doing the shit where, like, instead of working on the hill for a summer, I'm driving to 3 different houses and hand watering for hours every night.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I don't trust no one, so
Yeah, you gotta do it yourself.
myself. And so we made a little bit of money doing the indoor. My stepdad and my buddy and I, and we ended up stacking some money and bought a crib for my mom. Okay. So I'm living in Quinton comfortably. I got my crew. It's a nice neighborhood. We buy a house like by Winco in the middle of Eureka. So people in Eureka don't like people from Quinton. Like, there was almost like a gang thing kind of going on.
Sure.
You know, now this is also to the point where like everyone's kind of growing out of that phase.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like I was walking down the street having to worry about getting packed out or nothing like that. No one banging on me, but it was definitely like a rivalry where you see some people, you know, you're like, damn,
it could get funky.
like I fought that dude before, or, you know, like we might have a problem here, you know? So I got to that part of town, and it's kind of like where a transition was made where I always sold dope too, you know what I'm saying? Like, even in Connecticut, we would go to, when I was in trouble, when I got arrested, I had to go to this place called the Rushford Center in Middletown, Connecticut, right? Small little city. I had to go there for meetings because of my probation. When I go there, I would meet everybody from Middletown. And I'm from like a rich town. So
Middletown,
like,
New York, or what?
No, Middletown, Connecticut.
Connecticut, got you.
It's like by old Saybrook area.
Okay.
So I would meet hella people. So I met these dudes from the Village, which is the projects in Middletown. So I could go to the Village and buy a double up. So I give them $100. They give me 10, 20 rocks.
Yeah.
And I would take it and make $200 off it.
For sure.
So what I was doing at one point was I would have like grown ass adults, like my friends' parents and shit in Connecticut, like, yo, you can, this is like when crack was cool too.
Yeah.
Crackheads, right? Like rich people were smoking crack.
So
I'd get in their car, ride to Middletown, go in the Ville, grab the rocks for them, make my $100 and then go home. And I do that all the time. So I always kind of sold dope too, you know?
Sure.
So I was in Quinton, and my boy Casey came back from the other side of town. I was like, you hung out like in Eureka? Like no one jumped you? Nothing happened? He's like, no, actually I kicked it with some fools that like know us. We're cool. You know what I'm saying? It's only a small little group of people had a problem with us. Everyone else was pretty cool.
Okay.
And he had like a quarter ounce of some coke on him. So I'm like, damn, that's cool. Like, you got a plug. Like, we could start selling coke too. And he's like, yeah, that's how I met Germ, the fool that's in my skits with. Germ, he's a very self-made dude. He's Humboldt born and raised. His mom had issues too the same way, but he, even like with him, he's a very self-made dude. Like, he had to be an adult way before all of us. Like, he'd been taking care of himself since he was like 10 years old.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? And he went to high school, played sports, was a straight A student, even beyond
with
not having
chaos.
no support system, doing everything on his own. Bought his own first car, paid his own rent. You know what I mean? He never had no helpers, but he sold crack as well. Like, and he was actually, when I met him, he was like, you know, like a key up already coming out of high school. You know what I'm saying? So he was doing his thing. He had like a town van, what we call them, the big Chevy 20 vans with seats in it and shit. So I end up stacking up enough money, helped my mom get a house. We moved to that side of town. I kind of left my crew and met a new circle of friends, you know, because I wouldn't go out to Quinton every day, and everyone was kind of getting older. A lot of the older homies by now have already like wife and kid up. We haven't even seen them. They haven't came to the park in months. You know what I'm saying? I met a new group of friends, and then that's when I got into like bartering, you know, like I realized the power of trade, you know, when
little
when
weed
have,
for little yak type shit.
Yeah, but like it started getting into like a lot of weed for a little yak.
You
know what I'm saying? Like at one point at my mom's new crib, I had a station in the garage where I had this millionaire dude who would come to town from the hill, buy some rocks for me, and then sit in my mom's garage and smoke. I had him his own little station. Even my mom knew, like, don't bother him when he's out there. He's out there smoking. You know what I'm saying? I'd go get him his little balloons from the store so he could exhale the crack, then inhale it.
Get a little reclaim.
And I started doing weird, you know, trades with him and his friends, and I actually, you know, it was weird because I grew up with mostly, like, I hung out with, like, the blacks and the Mexicans in my town growing up. but I was able to tap into some different crowds being a white boy and meeting some of these people.
Of course.
Like I would sometimes, like say I met a rich person who ain't never smoked crack, I will give them a seminar and get them to try it.
Whoa.
You know what I'm saying? And then really get to barter me. You know what I'm
buddy.
saying? Like you might owe me 10, 15,000 in rocks. And we're gonna make a trade when you do that harvest.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you're gonna give me what you owe me, and I'm taxing, and they have no problem doing it. So when I moved to a new side of town and made a new group of friends, I really started getting money, like with bartering and just being able to wiggle my shit. You know what I'm saying? And I would say by like my mid-20s, you know, I was loaded, bro. I was definitely up. You know what I mean? I had like the first car in Eureka that had TVs in it, the first motherfucker on 20s, the first person I cracked the code at like 3 different dealerships where motherfuckers, you know, used to be like, you have to have credit and we can't take cash down payment. I cracked the code at multiple dealerships, bro. Like, I walk in there with 30 bands and I'm leaving in the dopest truck you got, and they would be okay with it. And so people kind of started following my lead, and then it was happening with everybody, you know. But I was up pretty high, and then it's also too like when I stopped drinking, because I realized like, damn, I was like having hella money and I had this big entourage of people always with me, but I like barely could remember the day before, barely living. And then one time in Hawaii, I don't know if I don't know, I might have fucked Sammy Hagar. Whatever the fuck was in that bed when I woke up looked like Sammy Hagar. It was a chick. She just looked like Sammy Hagar.
What's up, fam? Just want to take a second to shout out my sponsors over at Buck Mountain Cannabis Delivery. Single source flower, rosin, hash holes, and pre-rolls. All produced in the Sierra foothills of Nevada County. Always fresh depths and light assist direct from the farm. Their product is never more than 6 months old from harvest. Grown with passion and obsession to produce the best sun-grown cannabis possible. And if it's from Buck Mountain, you know it's smoking. Serving Grass Valley and Sacramento. Go check out the menu at buckmountaincannabis.com. Tell them Good Pizza sent you.
So I was like, damn.
Can we pull up Sammy Hagar?
Yeah, pull him up.
Pull him up.
Present day.
I gotta see this, bro.
I'm like, damn, because Sammy's pretty big in Hawaii. Like, did I just fuck Sammy Hagar? Like, what is in this bed right now? What the fuck's? I'm like, I realized this drinking's like, it's getting a hold of me. You know what I'm saying? And I got that redheaded shit too. It's in my blood too. So when I stopped drinking, I had moved to a new spot. I got a new crew. I really started getting money, bro, where I was like, I tried to explain to a lot of people, because there's some people don't know who I am outside of just comedy and Instagram. Like, my city will tell you the story. You walk anywhere in Eureka, they'll tell you, like, no, that's Cracker Jack. No one calls me CJ Humboldt.
You're Cracker Jack?
They go, that's Cracker Jack. They might say, that's Cracker Jack the pimp, or, no, that's Cracker Jack, like, he sell dope. Yes, Sammy Hagar, present day.
Jesus.
I woke up to some shit like that. Go to the one right there in the red shirt where it's screaming on the far left. Yeah, right there.
Oh, boy.
I woke up to some shit like that. I was like, I'm not drinking ever again.
Yeah,
and then I turned it up, really started making money and understanding like the game more, you know?
Wow.
And that was like a gift and a curse too, because my indoors, like I did so good for so many years, but like selling dope too and hustling and partying, the quality started kind of going up and down, up and down. So by the time I was like 33 years old, I was breeding spider mites. Like it wasn't even fun. I turned into a shit grower.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Even outdoors on the hills, I was always a full-term dude.
Yeah.
Even when I did depths in the later days, but that wasn't my thing. I was a full-term dude,
Full-term,
you know?
once a year type shit.
And my grows have never been automated. You know, I probably should have and could have back then, but I just was never that dude, you know? So like I can honestly admit saying like I wasn't a good grower toward the end of it. So I stopped the growing side of it and just started bag flipping, you know what I'm saying? Which one thing I've came to understand about legal cannabis opened up a lot of the job market that's in the industry, because there's jobs that exist now that didn't before.
Sure.
And if you look at cannabis in a whole, all those black market jobs that existed still exist, minus the trimming.
Yeah.
You still got the lady who will drive for you. You still got a person you'll pay to bag you, seal them all up. Mm-hmm. You still have a motherfucker to take the pack in the shit. You know, those jobs still exist. Legal cannabis kind of opened up more job opportunities. So I realized like there's a lane in just flipping bags. Like it's not, some people like, their brand, they don't even grow their shit. I was like, yeah, you moron. I want it to come out good. That's why I don't grow it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I just give the plants to people and watch them do a good job growing it. And I'm an irresponsible fuck too. I'll spray it with Eagle 20 the day before I cut it down. I don't give a fuck if you guys get cancer. You know what I'm saying? It's like when I realize my irresponsibility, I'm like, damn, probably shouldn't use fucking fluoramide on week 6, but here we are at war with these bugs. You know what I'm saying? So I realized like I'm an irresponsible grower.
No doubt.
I kind of tapped out. I got tired of going to all these. I got 4 cultivation charges in my record from them hitting indoors that I had. And a lot of the time, I could have kept it cool. I was just doing fuck shit. You know what I'm saying? Making it completely obvious. Shout out my cousin Luke. This is like a real Humboldt. This is how real dedicated these people are. My cousin Luke's landlord knew he was growing, but he wouldn't let him in the house to look around, right? So the landlord did some fucking weird shit and cut off the PG&E. So he was like, all right, put a fucking Ingersoll Rand fucking generator in the backyard in the middle of fucking town and finished his run. You know what I'm saying?
Holy
like, fuck these
shit.
neighbors, fuck all y'all, I don't give a fuck. That's like
just humming, bro.
That's real Humboldt the way I can describe it. Like, people don't give a fuck.
Yeah,
So
no doubt.
I ended up catching a cultivation charge, the first one, and then transportation. I had like 24 bands on me and an 8th. They charged me for transportation of marijuana.
What the fuck?
But they started kind of like getting on me on a regular basis.
Sure.
So I'll do like a county year for cultivation. I'll come out, fight another case, be out on bail, do a little county time, and then it just got to the point, the extracurricular shit outside of cannabis, it was starting to catch it. Like Task was watching me, they'd pull me over and like search me all the time. So like to the point I'm playing offense. I'm every day, you know, viably trying to like outsmart Task.
Yeah. And
then they end up getting me one day. They get me. They didn't get me because I kind of seen what was happening right before it happened. So I got rid of most of it. I kind of seen them drive by early in the morning, and I seen a Coast Guard helicopter kept flying over my spot. And I'm like, this is kind of weird. Like, he's like circling me, you know what I'm saying? So started getting rid of shit, panic, because I usually trust my gut. So they end up finding 5 ounces that I didn't find that was in a broke down Impala outside the house. I just kept under the seat in case somebody called for a couple zips. 5 ounces of crystal.
Yeah. Ooh.
And they charged me for 2 guns that they found like 3 miles away from where they arrested me at a friend's house. But they just couldn't get me, and they finally got to the point, we're just gonna hammer you. You know, so they hit like all these houses all at once at one day. So I went to prison for 22 months on that one. And then when I got out, you know, when you're locked up, you tell people, like in my mind, I'm like, I'm gonna go back up the hill. Because now depths are starting to pop. Mm-hmm. It's way more legal to grow weed. It's not as scary. People are growing weed on their own property.
Say Prop 215
yeah,
type
like
shit.
Even almost pre-Prop 215, people were just getting more bold with it because way more people started doing it.
No doubt.
So I'm like, I'm going to get out, get a hill, pull off some sick shit, and just keep it popping and stay away from the extracurriculars, you know what I'm saying? But like, I'm a dope boy at heart, bro. Like, I'm a dope boy. Like, that's what I've always been. I fuck with weed, but the misconception, people think the weed community is a bunch of like beta like dorks, you know what I'm saying? There's a lot of trappers from Atlanta and Memphis and Texas and fools have been involved in all kind of shit that are a part of this community, whether you guys acknowledge it or not. You know, talking about you guys saying most of the betas that leave negative comments online, the pussies. Yeah. Whether you guys want to acknowledge it or not, it's not all hippies, bro.
It's not.
So many
it's a
different
huge street
types
element, bro.
of people.
Yeah, bro. I'm from Jersey, bro. Like, you get shot over some sour diesel.
Executive criminals over there, advanced criminals that are in the weed game, you know what I'm saying?
Bro.
So I kind of like, I was promising my family and everybody else, I'm gonna get out, I'm gonna stay away from the extracurriculars. My plan was to go up the hill and just crush it, right? I was gonna just fucking crush it. Get out. My plug gave me a paper bag with some money in it and told me like, we want you to get back on, you know what I'm saying? So I got back out, went right back to it. And then this time I was more turned up, but I did manage to get a couple hills. People would thought I was nuts because I was growing full-term OGs. But I was growing that Skywalker, and it actually, even if I could get it down before like that last good rain, it was finishing for me just perfectly, and every white hair was turning, you know, orange, like I was pulling it off. So I got a couple hills, was still selling dope. And keep in mind, like, people viewing, they might think this shit is weird, but I'm from the 707 area code. Like, everybody is having a wife at home and pimping a bitch on the street and like growing weed and selling dope and might be fucking running card scams, selling chip cell phones. Like, at this time, this is the trapping era, bro. This is the trap, like when everyone was doing
I remember the chip cell phones,
like the Young Jeezy era, even before that.
Jeezy,
you know? Like,
right before.
This
the
is like
chip
everyone was
was like,
trapping, bro.
Yeah, bro.
So I'm making my moves. I had a couple hills. I was growing those OG full terms, taking them out to Arkansas, getting my money. Everything's going good, and then I end up getting fucking basically sucked back into extracurriculars, catch another case, go back to prison. And when I'm in prison though, so that the 215 days were very lovely for all of us, you know.
Yeah.
The one thing it did for like our real estate as far as Humboldt, people became a lot braver and a lot more okay with the fact that they were going to grow weed. So you had people from like Boca Raton, Florida, college kids coming out and buying 2 acres and blowing it the fuck up.
No
And
shit.
with no like fear of repercussions, because it was starting to become so normalized.
Sure.
Everyone was doing it. And then you had, you know, we had they were there, the Mexicans, they were there way before the 215 days. A lot of people don't understand. Those fools, when the log industry is booming, they've been deeply rooted in these hills for generations. Like they're very intelligent, crafty people, and they're somewhat the backbone of how it was working. You know what I'm saying? Because even now, a lot of the good workers you have would be Mexicans. You know what I'm saying? That you can trust and like get your shit done right. But before that, they've always been doing it on their own. They've always been lucrative in this and that. There's a chunk of this industry that belongs to them. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
The Bulgarians came. They came in full force, which was cool because of my property and my cousin's property. They were our neighbors. So we became friends with them early on. And these dudes were, you know, before I went to prison the second time, I was watching crews show up to Humboldt, and within 3 years, I watched one Bulgarian within 3 years be capable of manipulating the prices of indoor in the whole county. Because he
Really?
had such a massive inventory that if he wanted to let him go for a certain price, then that price just went down,
Everybody
whatever. Or if
drops.
he wanted to go high, he could single-handedly one person. He probably had about 70 workers. You know what I'm saying? And different. They had money, so they different properties all over Humboldt. But they were very organized, very intelligent. They used canna for outdoors, so they were like jumping ahead of people, growing quality. You know, it's like I watched these fools in 3 years go from like new guys in town to borderline controlling some of the prices, and especially in Sohum. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And shout out to all my bogeys, man, and all my Pisces. So I started seeing everything change. This is like a fucking weird culture shock. People from outside are coming here, and they're becoming more successful than we are.
What year are we talking? Just so I get my timeline.
215 days, like 2010 to
Okay.
like 16.
Okay.
I watched like even they were there before, but I watched them 2010 to like even 13 turn it the fuck up.
No shit.
Like they turned it the fuck up. And no one was really getting busted then. You had to be really, really like out of line to really get hit. And in the 215 days too, it was like they weren't going to come because you had those prescriptions on
Yeah,
there.
the scripts,
they
yeah.
might come if you were like thousands of plants, but
Yeah.
you know, if you know what you're doing,
Stack
you
those
grow
scripts, you good.
You know what I'm saying? But if you
Yeah.
know what you're doing outdoors, you can grow a big plant. So people were growing big plants, 99 plants. Like there's people that
Big
manipulated
99,
the
yeah.
system and were doing fucking a lot of
Oh,
weed
yeah.
doing that. Then they had 99 here, 99 here, 99 here, 99 here.
Yep.
And the bogeys were like, fuck it, we'll do 999 plus 4 greenhouses. Fuck it. You know, they
Yeah.
pull it off for 2 years, and if they hit us, who gives a fuck?
Yeah.
That's just how they were. They
Yeah.
had balls.
Mm-hmm.
So I watched, you know, mid 2000s, 2001 to like 8, it was still kind of lovely. There's a lot of people in Humboldt just having their way. It wasn't much competition.
Yeah.
After 8, kind of going in, you notice a lot of other people. Now, keep in mind, Vermont's always had weed. New
Yeah, no
York's
doubt.
always had weed. Canada's had weed. Maine's had weed.
No doubt.
Kentucky has always been a
I didn't know
massive
that
weed
one.
grow.
I didn't know
Yeah,
that one.
the hills of Kentucky, they're like militias out there that grow shit.
Oh, the hills. Maybe I did hear about that.
Kentucky used to produce a lot of good weed.
Oh, shit,
And
man.
still not holding a candle with what Humboldt's doing, but everyone's always had weed.
For
But
sure.
after like 2008-ish, we started to notice that the competition was affecting us.
No
And
shit.
where it's like, wow, like, you know, these people from Canada are giving these guys shit, which they've been giving them shit, but now it's like actually competing and affecting with what we
Yeah.
have going. We're seeing less people come here to buy it and more people to grow it. So now it's like people are growing, leaving with the weed and leaving with the money. See what I'm
Gotcha.
saying? You come from
Gotcha.
Florida, you throw up your shit, you guys sell it out there in Florida, and the money is spent back into the Florida community.
That's a fact.
So we watched our economy start to kind of get slipped between our fingers.
No
You know what I'm
shit.
saying? The
Wow.
new guys on the block, they were growing better weed, bigger weed, and they had more people to help them do it. That some of these guys don't have to pay their workers. You know what I'm saying? You got
Yeah.
20 people to work for you, and you don't have to pay them. You're gonna beat me at what we're doing.
And there are
For side by
OT
side.
outlets.
Now that
Yeah.
money's leaving our community, so you watch the decline of the community kind of start to happen, and then
Okay.
where the money started leaving, and then it just became this massive, you know. So 2017, I'm locked up. I get weed in the pen for the first time I ever. And another thing too, I'm gonna explain this in a minute. I didn't really know outside of Humboldt that there, like in Connecticut, there's a lot of people, we just got ripped and we sold weed, but it wasn't like a cultural following type thing. It wasn't something that like people were like super interested in and wanted to know more about. It's not in my group, you know? Like we get some Vermont kind bud sometimes and be blown away that it was purple and be smoking the fuck out of it and can't get enough of it, you know? But we didn't know there's like people in Vermont that have had that for fucking decades and it's all over the place up there.
Oh yeah, Vermont gets down, bro.
Yeah, they get down.
Yeah.
So I'm not really knowing that this is like a cultural following. So I get a bag of gelato that's in a cookies packaging
in the pen
in 2017.
Fuck.
I paid $150 for an eighth.
Yeah, you did.
And I'm like, this is crazy. Like they put their name on it and it was hella good. I'm like, this is crazy. So when I get out 2018 is like everything's legal. Every person I know is like fighting to get a license. That's all they're talking about. This is like the craziest
the first
shit.
wave.
And my boy right here, so me and Cali Kid, we've been busting moves, busting plays for a real long time. But he would come up to my house to bullshit with me for a week, and every time he'd come, I'd be waiting by the door because he'd have like a bag of branded weed and shit from shops. You know what I'm saying?
For sure.
And I was just so blown away by it. It was like every time he showed up, I'm like, ooh, what you got in the bag? What you got in the bag? You know? So that's when I first started seeing like cookie shit and like the rosin, the some of the Jungle Boys rosin early on, and even the Jungle Boys packs. You know, like I started taking a real interest in not necessarily like. My lane, I don't think, was ever going to be legal growing weed. I never wanted to take. So I got abated. My properties got abated. So I got a letter in the mail that said, we seen your shit on satellite. If you don't cut it down in 7 days, we coming to bust everybody. And we're not playing. So like when I got out 2018, I'd sunk my life savings into these properties, making balloon payments and everything. And they were worthless to me. So like 2018, I get out. I got about like 12 bands to my name, 3 kids and a wife. You know what I'm saying? And like I didn't know really what to do, and now weed's legal. Yeah. So I'm like, I really didn't know what the fuck was gonna happen. You know? And by 2018, during the birth of my daughter, I kind of had a spiritual awakening, and I kind of left all the extracurriculars, anything outside of the I kind of like I left alone. You know what I'm saying? Because in my younger days too, I mean, you know, I could tell you guys this because my whole city is gonna tell you anyway. It's no secret. You know, I mean, younger days. Like, I would like, you know, like do a home invasion, like if I felt frisky, like almost damn near for fun. Like I didn't even need it. Like I would go strip some fools if I really, really wanted to. You know what I'm saying? I was a fucked person. But during the birth of my daughter, I had a spiritual awakening. I was like, damn, I'm just gonna like keep positivity for the rest of my life. Like I'm letting everything go. Like I'm not cool. Yeah. So it was. And
kids will do that.
It's been working since. You know, like it just with a little girl, it just changed me. You know, and people told me it would.
Did you have 2 boys first?
2 boys first. Gotcha. Yeah. But when it happened, I'm like, whoa, this is crazy. Like I'm really ready to let go of everything. Yeah, that's cool, like, I'm not gonna let go of the weed because this is who I am, bro. And it's just weed, but like this is a part of who I am. Like this is actually a part of my psyche. You know what I'm saying? And believe it or not, I am one of the people too that still believe it's medicine.
What's up, guys? Just want to take a quick second to shout out my sponsors over at Grove Bags. Listen, Grove Bags are hands down the best way to store your cannabis. Forget jars, forget Mylars. Nobody does it like Grove Bags. Listen, it's a 6-layer, non-static bag. State-of-the-art technology. It's gonna keep your weed fresher for longer. It keeps your cannabis between 58 and 62% humidity at all times, the optimal humidity to store cannabis. It's gonna increase your shelf life, help prevent mold, weight reduction. Hands down, it's the best product out there. We don't use anything but Grove Bags at Good Pizza. And especially if your product is in stores, we all know there's some shelf life issues at the stores. This is gonna keep your product lasting longer on those shelves, so when your customer goes to try it, it's gonna be fresh cannabis. Listen, if you wanna store your cannabis the proper way, use Grove Bags. Use promo code PIZZA with 3 Z's. That's PIZZZA. Tell them Good Pizza sent you. Me too, man.
Like, it's medicinal for sure. To me. I need the shit.
Yeah, my mother grows weed, bro. Yeah. In Jersey. Like, I learned that this is medicine
100%.
from a younger age. You know what I'm saying?
And it's a bonding, you know.
Yeah. It's communal, it's spiritual, you know what I'm saying? It's tribal.
It's very tribal. You know I like to tell people alcohol tears families apart and cannabis brings them together. Yeah. That's a very true statement about both. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So I'm like, I'm not gonna let go of this shit. And then he's showing me all this branded cool shit. I like really started nerding out on this shit, you know, because Cali's tapped in. He knows every brand, everything, all the different flavors, the new genetics, you know what I'm saying? So I'm like, damn, I'm telling him one day, like, we're gonna do this shit, bro. Like, fuck yeah. I tell him, I'm not gonna have and excuse my language, I'm not gonna have a bunch of fucking nerds, because in my mind, anyone outside of Humboldt, it's like fake as far as because I don't know any better. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, I'm not gonna have a bunch of fucking nerds run my shit, and I'm not gonna be known in this shit. So we started brainstorming. How can we get in? How can we get in? I'm like, I really don't see a way. We don't have land. We don't have investors. Like at that now, you could go buy some packaging, start a brand, and make a deal with the facility. But in the very early stages, it wasn't necessarily like that. No one was going to believe in you or gave a fuck what you had. You know what I'm saying?
Because they didn't understand the power of a brand, because the weed costs so much. You know, they didn't realize, I can only sell pounds for $1,200 in the rec market. Oh, fuck. Maybe I do need some brands to buy all this shit.
I think you just made a really great point. In the very beginning, the producers had no clue how much the branding meant.
Exactly.
And creating like a personal brand about yourself or about your people or your movement.
Yeah, bro.
They underestimated that
big time.
Tenfold. Just looked right past that. You know what I'm saying? And I think maybe I did in the beginning as well too, because I never thought, they didn't come to me till later, right? So I'm like, how are we gonna do this? So he would come like every 3 weeks, this fool would come to my house and just live at my house with me for a week. You know what I'm saying? He literally watched my kids grow up. You know what I'm saying? And now he's like roommates with my oldest son at college. Lucky bastard, like gets to live vicariously. You know what I'm saying?
Go.
Yeah. I told my son, I'm gonna plant old Uncle Jesse right here as your roommate. He's like, bring him. You know what I'm saying? Let's go.
Dude. Keep an eye on things, you know what I'm saying?
They keep an eye on him.
Oh shit, bro.
They're like, what was that? That thing had broad shoulders and an Adam's apple. Just kidding. Uncle Jesse was in there. Was he wrestling or what was that? I kept hearing you say no. No, it's okay, guys. That's my safe word. No, shit. That's my safe word. But I was like, how the fuck am I going to get in? How are we going to do this? Like, I want to be a part of this shit. Like, I do not want to watch this shit pass me by.
Right, of course.
And this is when there's hundreds of licensed farms. And I was friends with a guy named Taylor who actually started Bear Extracts and like helped build the cannabis like business plaza in Arcata. You know, Taylor's like a vet OG in the game.
Hell yeah, I've heard of Bear Extracts. Hell yeah.
Yeah. So Taylor, my boy, started that. His dad used to grow up with my stepdad. They were buddies back in the day. So I knew him, and I was kind of like asking him, like, how did you get in? He's like, dog, I had to spend a shitload of money. Yeah. Basically tell the government where all my properties were and get them licensed. You know what I'm saying? Like, it wasn't really cool, you know?
Yeah, right.
I don't know what to tell you, basically. I don't know what to tell you. So, all right. Well, Talon, you've seen him in my skits too. He's like kind of like the college-y looking, like prettier looking one of us.
Yeah.
Cut dude. He's younger than us too. So my first wife went to Cal Berkeley. So when I got out of prison the first time, I lived with her on campus.
Okay.
And it was kind of cool because I would go back and forth to Humboldt. I was on parole, so I had to sneak all around. I wasn't allowed to leave 50 miles from the fucking courthouse and shit. But I lived on Cal campus in Berkeley when I just got out of prison. So I would grab pounds, I'd grab some granddaddies and some good shit, bring it down, and I would literally go knock on the door to frats and say, hey, look, bro, like, because I don't look like a student either. I'm 239 pounds, yoked out of my mind.
Yeah, just came home type shit.
Yeah, I'm like, I look weird, bro.
Been
I'm
programming.
older. I'll knock on the door and be like, hey, so I sell weed and I live down the street. You know, I lived on Haste. I live right next to Fraternity Road. Like, if you guys ever need something, like, you should give me a call. And they would be like, what? Like, yeah, no, we're cool, dude. You know what I mean? I would go back 5 days later. Anybody need any weed? Then I started just leaving a little bit of weed with them. And next thing you know, dog, I started booming.
Nice.
And it was crazy because they would never buy it in eighths. They'd buy it in grams. So I had to walk up the street. These is like some really like rich ass kids. Like in frats at Cal Berkeley. You know, it's like the future leaders of America. Day,
oh,
you know
hello.
What I'm saying? I'm fucking going up there and selling them a gram for $20 like every 10 minutes. I asked him one time, can I put a vending machine in here? He's like, I'll talk to the boys. You know what I'm saying? We'll see. You know?
Yeah.
So I met Talon, and by no means was he in a frat. This fool was going to community college when I first met him, but he was a valet at the Claremont. So anybody from the Bay Area knows Claremont is like the nicest hotel in the Bay.
Yeah.
Like if you have enough money there, you could like kill a hooker, and they wouldn't even say anything.
God.
It's like one of those hotels. People are so rich you could kill a hooker if you wanted to, and no one would say shit. They just get rid of the body and fucking whatever. So he's the valet at like the biggest, most richest private hotel in the Bay. So when I meet him, he's kind of like on his own. He's from Montana, and he doesn't go to the college. So a lot of people that don't go to the college are more accepting to another person who doesn't go to the college.
No doubt.
A lot of the students don't really want to interact with somebody who's not part of the, part of the game.
For sure.
So I had my frats kind of cracking, and I met him. Started to become friends with him, and when I got locked up the second time, he had wrote me one time, was like, hey dog, it's me. I heard you were in jail, you know what I'm saying? When you get out, call me, right?
What
And
a
at this
fucking
time,
guy.
he's in Austin living in a penthouse. He's like a top executive at Salesforce.
Oh shit.
So Talon sells tech. He's like a legend in the tech sales
No
game.
shit, man.
And legendary not for selling a bunch of shit, but for getting really fucking drunk and high on addies and partying like a motherfucker.
Okay.
He'll take a company car to run it into the basement. He
Yes.
doesn't give a fuck what he runs.
I
on
like
that
him.
thing. Yeah, it's pretty tight. He like Wolf of Wall Streeted it for like 6 years as a
What?
top executive at Salesforce.
No shit.
Yeah, so he's balling, but he writes me, he sends me pictures. He's got like 10 chicks in his penthouse, all in Vegas. He's like, yeah, when you get out, just hit me, dog. Like it's on, you know?
You got something to look forward to now.
This is what I thought.
Oh shit. The plot thickens.
Yeah, so Jesse's been coming through with all this branded shit. I'm trying to figure out how I'm gonna get in. Talon hits me. He's like, bro, you out? I'm like, yeah, I'm at the house. He's like, I'm gonna drive up there. I'm in Rosa. I'll be up there in 3 hours. I'm like, dope. He gets up. I'm like, what's been popping? He's like, oh, fuck, got fired from Salesforce. I'm suing him. Had to go to rehab fucking for the alcohol.
No.
And I'm like, damn, well, like, did it work? He's like, no, I get drunk. I'm partying still. I'm like, damn, great. So
Cool.
he shows
so
up.
We're not going to see all them chicks like.
Stays at my house for like 3 days, gets shit faced every day. And I don't really allow drinking in my house. So he'd like leave, go get shit faced, and just come back. Third day, though, he's like, yo, let's start an LLC and let's see if you could just work your way in for marketing. Like maybe just do sales the same way I sell tech. Try to open up like a sales firm or some type of something for sales in cannabis, right?
Yeah.
So I'm like, that kind of makes sense, you know what I'm saying? Because I'm a bag flipper by nature. Like I
No
think
doubt.
sales is a good lane. Let's do it. So we make an LLC, and I tell we the motherfucking Vikings of the Black Market. We coming over, take over everything. Fuck this shit.
Yep.
Call it Black Market Vikings.
Yeah, you did.
So we did that, and so I'm like, okay, cool. So I go back to my boys over at Bear and a couple other spots. Hey, would you hire us to do sales? And they're like, nah, like we have a guy that does the sales. Like we're not really looking to hire. You know, oh, okay, all right. So I'm like, you know what? When I was in San Quentin, I used to do this thing where I would like, because we're not really supposed to yell through the bars too much, right? Like there's cell bars and there's 5 stories high, a tier. It's a big ass cell block, right? Probably 600-700 people in it.
Fuck.
And it's little ass cells. We're not really supposed to yell through the bars too much, but we do communicate through the bars. Well, I had a couple homies down the tier that I would yell back and forth with, and I would just fucking go off, bro. I'd be making songs about them. I'd tell stories about their girlfriends that were completely not true, and the whole tier would be laughing.
Yeah.
So I got to this point where we were doing like kind of like story time. So at nighttime, they'd be like, yo, like, what's up, Cracker Jack? Like, tell us something, you know what I mean? We listening. And then even like the other white dude's like, no, that's good, bro. Like, do it. And then some nights I'd be like, nah, I don't want to yell through the bars like my cellie's laying down and shit. They start going, fuck him, fuck him, fuck him. Tell the story. So I would tell stories of San Quentin.
I can see you doing this
It would
crazy
be
shit.
funny as fuck. Sometimes I would do like live phone calls. I would tell people, look, I'm a psychic. I can psychically connect to any human being on earth. Who do you want me to call? And the dude's like, I want you to connect to my old lady right now and tell me what she's doing. And I would be like, give me a second.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They'd
Channel
wait,
speak.
like, I'm getting a connection. What do you see? It's like, it's kind of fuzzy. She's in the kitchen. He's like, all right, cool. Bitch is at home. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, she's cooking dinner. Okay. He's like, there's a picture on the wall. It's you, her, and the kids. Like, okay, that's female, homie. She's like, she's looking out for the family. You know what I mean? Like, yeah. And I was like, wait a minute. Someone just showed up. I don't know. He's sitting on the couch. What? She's taking off his work boots. They're heading to the bedroom. He's like, no. I'm like, oh yeah, he's deep. And everyone started laughing. So I would phone, but every person's wife I would call, she'd end up getting fucked. So it'd be funny as fuck, but we would go off.
Oh my
and I'd tell these
God,
stories.
dude.
So I made up a song about a cop one day. And I was saying it was some shit about fucking yummy, yummy, yummy. He's got sperm in his tummy and he's thinking about drinking more. And and when I would say it, the whole tier would say it. So the cop come and get out this motherfucker, he handcuffed me, put me in the dummy cage, grab all my shit, throw it off the fucking tier, right?
Oh,
and he would just tear my house the fuck up.
Yeah.
But I'm like, damn, it was so fucking funny. It was worth it, right? I didn't give a fuck. It was so fucking funny.
Yo, you're
one
a
night,
wild boy.
He comes to the cell and he's like, hey, come here. He's like, he used to call me Red because I have like, it's gray now, but he used to have like a red beard. He's like, hey, Red, come here. I'm like, what's up? He's like, hey, bro, I looked at your file, right? You got a lot of people that wrote letters on your behalf, You know, for my sentencing, I had like about 125 people write a letter on my behalf.
Character letters type shit?
Yeah. You know, I had done a lot of like, even to this day, me and Germ got the biggest scholarship program that ever existed in our town.
Nice.
We used to do a thing where we'd buy like 40 kids school clothes sometimes, you know, like really just give it back, you know what I mean? But and I coached like a little shit league baseball team, went undefeated. So I had some of the moms like, yeah, he's like pretty good dude, you know. They're like, no, he's horrible. We're sending him to prison, but thanks for the letter. Yeah. But he's like, you got a lot of people write in, and I could see like you got people on your visitors list. You get mail, like you're like seem like you're a normal person on the outs, you know what I mean? Because everyone in there's a dope fiend.
For sure.
And I'm like, yeah, you know, for the most part, you know, like whatever you consider normal, but I'm not a dope fiend. I get money. He's like, yeah, he's like, you should do comedy, bro. Like, what the fuck are you doing? He's like, bro, you know, sometimes we have cops that come from other sections when we'll tell them that you're about to tell a story. We have cops walk down the hall and listen from downstairs, bro. He's like, you're like known, bro. Like, it's funny, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, yeah, you made a song about me. I wasn't happy about it. And there was another thing I said about his wife. I said something like, I was like, hey, buddy, how good is it your wife? It's sucking out wrinkles. And I was holding my balls. And fucking, he's like, you know, I didn't like that shit. That shit was disrespectful. And I ain't never disrespected you.
Man.
You know what I'm saying? I don't disrespect you. You know, he's like, just find a way to be funny when you get out without disrespecting people. I'm like, no, you got a great fucking point. So I bought one of those little black and white kind of scatter-colored journal books, you know?
Yeah.
And I was sitting in the cell because you're in there 23 hours a day. I was sitting in the cell and I was just like, it's so weird to try to like write a joke. I don't know how comedians do that, bro.
Right.
Because I can't just sit down and write something I think is funny.
Sure.
And I would just sit there for days on end, couldn't think of nothing.
Damn.
Nothing. Then I'm like, all right. I start meditating. I'm in the cell one day, and like I couldn't stand my cellie, cause like when I got to the cell, he tried to pull some high powered shit. He's like, he's not high powered, always a pussy, right? But he's like fucking chest all out. He's like an older dude, you know, and he's got like 19 years left. He just got down.
Yeah.
I'm like, what's up, bro? You know, I'm from Humboldt. Like, everything's right here. You can check it, make sure everything's cool. He's like, yeah, we're good. We're copacetic. You know what I'm saying? My shit's right there. You can look through my shit if you want to. He's like, but I got some rules in the cell. I'm like, all right. I just got all my shit from the bus too, so I'm like cracking open some food. I'm like, I've been in a holding cage for 15 hours. I'm ready to get it in. Like, where's the crock pot? Let's cook this shit, right?
Yeah.
I got a honey bun. I'm eating. I'm listening to him. He's like, couple rules, you know what I'm saying? I don't like yelling through the bars, you know what I'm saying? Don't ever let nobody in our house. You know, I respect you, you respect me. When I'm asleep, you know, again, he's like only one up, one down, which means like, well, some different meanings, but the cell's so small, only one person can stand up at a time. So like, don't stand up in the cell when I'm standing up. Wait till I'm on my bed, you know. And he's like, and last but not least, if you got to fart or you got to piss, you sit down on that toilet. I'm like, yeah, no, I got you, because you don't stand pissing in the cell because the piss splatter goes everywhere, right? And he's like, I'm serious about the farting thing, dude. You sit down like this. And he sits down and he goes, and flushes the fart down the toilet, right?
He flushes the fart.
Yeah, so, and I'm like, oh, okay, nice. I'm eating too. I'm like, motherfucker, right?
Yeah.
But when he stands up, I look, I'm like, oh, you just shitted yourself. He shitted his boxers when he sat down on the toilet and farted. And then it started smelling, so I'm dry heaving. I'm like,
oh my God, bro.
I go, move with the way, and I puke in the sink, bro. And this is the first day we spent in the cell.
Oh my God,
so,
bro.
He was gonna his plan was to wash those boxers and keep them in the cell. I'm like, to the point now, like, we gonna have to chunk them, bro, because those shits are getting tossed off the tier.
Yeah.
Those are leaving this cell right now. There's
now.
no washing those, dog. You just tried to act tough, farted, and shit yourself in prison.
Yeah.
Okay? So everyone in the whole fucking yard can know about this, or we can throw these fucking off the tier and never talk about it again. He's like, all right, so he tossed him, right? Oh, I went and told everyone, dog. Every cop in the prison called him shitty. He hated me, so we would never talk in the cell, bro.
Yeah.
So I'm meditating for hours, and then something come to me, and I notice, and anybody out there who is a creative person, whether it's music, comedy, no matter what it is, things are going to come to you, and it's important that when they come in your head, you get them down.
Yeah.
Use your voice memos.
You
in
think
your phone,
you got to ink it, bro.
Write it down.
Immediately.
I don't give a fuck what it is.
Don't trust your memory.
Yes, and it's not going to come in the form of like, I thought of this, and then I thought this was clever with it. It's going to come in the form of something that you're kind of watching. You're watching yourself do it. You know what I'm saying? So I watched myself pretending to be a cop, and word for word saw that weed was trash skit in my head while meditating, and I end up writing it down. And then I read it back to myself, then rewrote it perfectly, did that like 10 times, so I mastered it. So I literally, now I'm like, okay, I might not want to be on stage because I do kind of like, I am like a little weird from being a criminal. Like, I don't know how I would handle a heckler. Like, I might want to like stab somebody.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? If you ruin my show or I'm on stage trying to do my thing and start heckling, I might want to like stop what I'm doing and stab you. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would take that personal. You know what I mean? I don't know how comedians do it. They work around it. They flip it on them and they make it funny toward them.
For sure.
You know? I'm not the bigger person. I can't do it. You know what I'm saying?
Knowledge yourself, my friend.
Yeah.
You know yourself.
So stand up might not be my thing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, this is going to be a good way. When I get out, I could do something different. Like this cop and a couple of the homies are right because people used to tell me, bro, you're the funniest person I ever did time with. Like, get the fuck out of here and do something with yourself.
Yeah,
you know
no doubt.
Like, so I'm like, okay, this is making sense because I'm watching the weed skit, that weed was trash skit in my head. Like, this shit's fucking clever.
Yeah.
Like, this shit is clever, right?
Hell yeah.
So then I start seeing more and more skits in my head. I start kind of jotting shit down. And when I get out, day one, and another thing too is like when you're going to do something, and this all goes back to how we ended up with the marketing. When you're going to do something, like, tell everybody. I don't give a fuck. Say that shit out loud every fucking day, nonstop, to the point you're going to sound stupid to people. People are going to mock you when you walk away. When I tell them, I'm going to become one of the most recognized viral comedians on the fucking planet. I'm saying it just like that. Day one. Never told a joke, never been on comedy skit, nothing ever in my life. And day one, I'm like, this is what I'm going to fucking do. Nothing will stop me. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So I'm telling the homies, yo, I need a little bit of money. The camera that I want is like 20 bands for a red camera. This is before I ever filmed anything. I wanted to go buy the best fucking camera.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I started watching on YouTube, and a lot of people would say like, equipment will be your first excuse. I talked about this on another podcast. Equipment will be your first excuse. You'll talk yourself out of it. Then it might be what people think, you know? So I'm like, all right, I'm going to film something and just see how it goes. You know what I'm saying? So I had another skit that I manifested in my head in prison, and we made it. We ended up making it. I had this dude come. He worked as my cameraman, and then he edited it for me, and it came out like shit. Like, nothing about it made sense. It wasn't funny, and I was like, but I was like, I just told all these fucking people this is what I'm going to do and that I can't be stopped.
Yeah.
Like, now what am I going to do? Like, I literally bit off way more than I could chew. I'm telling people, like, you think I won't? Fuck you. You know, I'm dead serious about this shit. So I'm like, fuck. I wait like a week. I tell the dude, hey, can you bring that camera back over? Let's film it again. And then now it came out funny. So it was like one of my first skits I ever posted is when I was dressed up like a bitch as Connie. It was funny, bro. And it got like 43,000 views. And before that, I never really used social media. I never really looked on it. I had Snapchat for a little while, but it would always get taken. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And like this fool never really used it either. We weren't like a crew of people that were really using it or even had much knowledge about it. You know what I'm saying? But posted it. It went crazy. Then I'm like, okay, this is the type of skit that only certain people with certain childhoods or backgrounds would understand. If you grew up rich, you probably wouldn't understand this.
Right,
You know what I'm saying?
right.
Some of the goofy shit. But like, there's got to be a way that I could turn this into something weed, because a lot of my shit was weed related, and my thoughts and shit that I was watching myself do in my head was kind of weed themed already, you know,
doubt.
naturally. So I was like, okay. So Talon comes back to my house after we started. He's like, dude, this is it. Like, you got to do this, bro. Like, this is it. Like, I don't give a fuck. I'll run up my credit card to support you if I have to, but like, this is it, bro. Like, I swear, keep doing this, keep doing this. This is how we're going to start the marketing. And I never really, in the beginning, I knew it a way to like advertise for people, but I didn't realize the actual like infrastructure that could be set up with the sales of these multiple different products through this.
Yeah, you need the eyes. Once you got the eyeballs.
Yes. And people
You know what I'm saying?
underestimated it, right? But if you look at the underestimations, look what we did with Lux Lighting. Like, we had a lot of viral skits with their gear and with their equipment and shit. Like, people never would have thought two comedians from Humboldt would generate millions and millions and millions in sales. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, I had about 45,000 followers, but my page I was getting hundreds of thousands of views on skits and shit, bro. Like,
Yeah.
And I was pumping their product. And then they were also really solid ass dudes. They kept it real with us, always took good care of us.
Hell yeah.
So I started like, I saw the video, like Talon's thing, like become sales and sell different products in cannabis and open up a sales firm. I'm like, we can do that just by being ourselves. We could just go, because I think a lot of the skits, there's some that have been written, but like 90% of it is just us. Like, we just do it.
No doubt.
It's not really like a scripted thing. Or sometimes things will happen in real life, we'll just immediately turn the camera on and remake it. You know what I'm saying? Like, right there. So the thing with marketing and sales is you don't have to have the internet to do it, but if you can find a niche or a way to make it work better for you, you're going to do it faster. There's also people in sales that don't need social media because they're going to do the road time. They're going to advance their territory and knock on those doors and check on those people and build those relationships.
Yeah.
There's two ways to do it.
Yeah,
you know?
for sure.
But it is a lane. So that's how I got in. That's how I knew, like, I'm not going to get left behind in this shit now. Like, I'm coming to, like, make my mark on it. You know what I'm saying?
Hell yeah.
Which the original plan was, like, make people laugh and have fun, which is pretty much what we do. And that's what I've done naturally my whole life. Me and Jerm always been funny. You know what I'm saying? Like, and a lot of the time when we first met, he would, like, get on people's heads. And I was, like, one of the few that would, like, get back. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes we'd be smoking a blunt with, like, 20 people at the park. We're putting on a comedy show already. And we're doing it naturally, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I have a bunch of phone calls that sometimes I'll tape our phone calls because the shit we say is so fucking funny.
Yeah.
And so I end up finding a way in. And I was blessed to have it be something I'm working, but I'm still doing what I love, even though it's legal now. You know what I'm saying? Because helping companies, you know, market products, whether I'm making the content for them or just assisting them with making the content, has become somewhat of a career, and it's something that I like to do. You know,
no shit.
Like,
man.
I like creating shit with people. It doesn't necessarily have to be me. Like, I could assist someone in doing that. You know what I mean? It's just they have to be willing to pay. Like, I could take the pen right now and tell you, all right, give me this much money. I'm gonna give you this many skits. These 3 right here will hit over 1 million views, guaranteed. Like, I know that I could do it because I've done it predictably. You know what I'm saying? So that's how I got in, and I didn't want to be left behind. That's the only thing that didn't want to happen. When I saw weed being legal and everyone just, like, the gold rush, like, I don't want to be left behind. Like, I'm like the last guy to get a Bitcoin.
Right.
You know,
right,
my little
right.
$500 of Bitcoin though, I'm in.
Yeah.
You know,
for sure.
I was the
For
last
sure.
guy to get one. I bought it at, like, way too expensive, but
Yeah, same.
I didn't want to get left behind all the
Same.
way. You know,
I got a little piece of a Bitcoin, a couple Ethereum. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I was also at those conversations when it was like 2 G's.
And you never
Ethereum
bought
was
in
like
or
30
even
bucks.
believed.
No. I was
Yeah.
like, what the fuck? What are we talking about?
So it's like, you don't want to be left behind.
Yeah, you don't.
You want to stay a part of doing what you love. So that was the only way I thought, well, start the marketing, start the sales, and then just organically do it through comedy. You know what I'm saying? Which it worked. It worked. Later on, though, you always get to a point where you can only pump other people's stuff so much to where you, like, want to just keep it more organic by just pumping your own shit. You know what I'm saying? Or things that you use naturally, you know what I'm saying, throughout your day. So, like, it would be different shit you might see on my story. Like, I'm not even paid by those people, but I had that one rock that looks like a big chunk of crystal, and you could rub it on your armpits and you don't need deodorant. Like, this is some shit I just encountered regularly, right?
That's some real shit.
And I want to market that and sell that, but I'm a brand risk now. Because I've been myself too much on camera.
Right.
You know? So, like, I might say, like, you know, like, fuck libs or, like, some fucked up shit. I'm immediately a brand risk.
No doubt.
So I made a bold jump from, like, okay, I'm marketing and advertising for other people and I'm making some money from that sales and I'm getting my way in to, all right, now I'm in. I don't really give a fuck about selling other people's shit, and I'm just going to be me and do my shit. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which was a bold leap.
Yeah.
And
for sure.
people would tell me, like, you're crazy for some of the shit. You say, you're going to get yourself canceled. I'm like, I just don't give a fuck. Because that's the organic part of my brand is, like, that's me and that's us. We don't care.
That's why we like you, bud.
Yeah. We just don't give a fuck. Yeah. So I got in and I kind of just admired. I never really focused too much on my own branding until now, but, like, I kind of admired back in the day, in the very beginning, some of the cool shit that was happening. Just like some of the Jungle Boys packaging earlier was really cool, the way they packaged their rosin and shit. And then now it's like it's gotten to cereal boxes. Yeah. Next thing it's going to be like it comes with a fucking onesie that you wear when you smoke it so you don't smell like smoke. I thought about doing that. Anyone steals that idea, I'll kill you.
Damn.
But it's gone. Like, I've always admired, like, damn, you know, you see something really greatly put together and it's a good product. Like, damn, I admire that. Like, I want to do that. You know what I'm saying? So recently it became more important to me to, like, get our own strains going, get our own shit popping, make deals with people that will last long. You know what I'm saying?
Sure. Like, what type of shit you got in the works as far as that goes? Like,
right now we just dropped the bacalao.
Talk about it.
A lot of it is just Runt's foundational shit. I treat weed like breeding dogs. I'm not afraid to inbreed and breed something back to itself because that's how you get a freak. Yeah. You know, I mean, if you bred humans to humans they were related to, probably wouldn't be the smartest bunch, but they'd be Olympic power lifters. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck. Everyone's ears would be down here. Their necks would be like this thick. But it's a runts based little twist we had. A lot of our shit's seafood themed because, like, my dog, we got Flavor Town in Florida. We got some spots in Florida popped up with Cali Kid Organics. This one's a tribute to all my Florida people, all my motherfucking Cubanos, the whole Latin clique. And we're getting ready to do some washes, finally get some rosin out of our shit. I was on the shelves of a lot of spots in SAC. We just switched facilities, so now we're like taking like probably gonna be like a month hiatus before we get back on the shelves.
Okay.
And I was blessed enough. I'm friends with like Michelle from Cam. Shout out to my dog, Some Ugly Blonde, or as I like to say, Some Ugly Bitch.
Yeah. That's the homie.
She took a dump at my house once. Holy fuck.
Damn.
Dog. I got some viral skits with her. We went viral a couple times. We've got one that has like 7.3 million views.
No shit.
Yeah, I got some viral shit with her. I've even had her be a cop and do a pullover that had millions of views on my
Really?
TikTok. Yeah. But we were going to film one day, and my wife, she used to take, her and the kids would go to Mexico sometimes in December for December 12th, like a holiday there. And so my family is gone, and she's like, yo, I'm at your crib. I'm like, oh, just go ahead, go inside. I'll be there in a minute. Fucking walk in the house, dude. The paint's fucking ripped off the walls. The pictures are all folded like they went from Duke. And I'm like, what the fuck did you do? And she couldn't get it to flush because it was so big. So she's like, she's caught red-handed. She's like, that was your kids. I didn't do that. I'm like, my kids are out of town. It wasn't my kids, okay? Just fess up. She's like, no, it wasn't me. It wasn't me. One of your kids did that. I'm like, no, you dropped that log. I had to fucking get an old school, undo a coat hanger, break that fucker into 4 or 5 pieces, get it down. Bro. So, Michelle, I love you. If she ever comes to your house, ixnay on the shitsnay. Tell her your bathroom's out of order. Go down the street to a Taco Bell. For sure. She's got plans. She's going to fuck that up.
Oh, my God, bro. She's going to kill me for dropping this, bro.
Yeah. No, she knows better. She knows.
Michelle, this is good shit, though, yo. I got to drop it.
So, Michelle is she's an animal.
She is, yo.
She's a fucking straight animal. She doesn't need the internet. She knows how to work a territory, how to maintain relationships. She is a fucking animal when it comes to sales. And I was blessed enough where when I want to start my own brand, we made partners with a facility who, the most important thing to me was, all right, let's have our own genetics that we stole from someone. Let's steal some genetics from someone, call them our own. That's number one. That was a deal breaker if we couldn't do that. Yeah. So let's have our own genetics that were stolen. And then let's partner with a facility that will run Canna. And my reasoning for that is like, I've worked with other nutrient companies. I know there's lots of nutrients out there. I'm not saying any one of them are good or bad, but when you see on my page, I say your China Newt stack pack bullshit. I really mean it. Some of your guys' weed is China Newt stack pack bullshit. It's 5 different nutrients companies that all get it from the same mixing place. It's a white label shit that sources horrible fucking precursors, right?
Oh, man.
So there's like 2 or 3 good nutrients in the world, Canna being the best to me. And that's when I used to grow weed, that's what I grew with. You know what I mean? The Terra Flores, the Boost is just, this is what I use, right? And I started realizing if we're going to have a brand on the shelves, which we already were a brand, but we weren't on the shelves. If we're going to have, because we had that White Lobster in the street for years before we ever, hit the shelves. We were in Baltimore everywhere with it. I'm like, we're going to hit the shelves. I want it to be a facility that will run Canna. So I found a facility that did, and they grew good weed. We partnered with them. We got everything ready. And like the hard part was like, okay, now we're going to go door to door to dispensaries, try to get people to carry us. Well, I was blessed because, I got Michelle as like that's just like my real homegirl. That's why I could tell she took a shit. Normal people couldn't say shit like that. That's like my dog. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I was blessed enough to have her as a homie where she kind of like steered me the right direction, saved me a lot of time. Like, yo, here's a couple of dispensaries who have solid people that pay. Because the difference was too, if you're going to start a brand, it's really hard to compete with big companies that are leaving shit with the dispensary.
Yeah, 30-day, 15-day terms, fuck all that.
They're doing that.
It's crazy.
And like I'm COD only because, and the reason that if you're a dispensary out there and you're a buyer, gear more toward a COD company because they believe in their product more and they have more of a responsibility to deliver quality because you're CODing it. They need to make sure it sells. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. What's up, pizza fam? It's your boy JP, Good Pizza. Check this out. I'm getting a lot of questions on where I can find the fire good pizza. Check this out. We got you covered. We're in NorCal, SoCal, Central Valley, San Diego. We got you covered on the slices. Peep the list. Go check out the shop. Tell them Good Pizza sent you. Peace, love, Good Pizza.
And you'll see it's hard to compete with that. So she was actually blessed me. Like, here's people that do COD. Here's their name. I'm not going to do it for you, which I would never ask that, but like, here's just a start to like go tap on some doors. So I went into a lot of dispensaries. So shout out to Zen, That's
Yep,
my
Zen,
dog over
Zach.
there, Josh.
Oh, yeah,
that's
Josh, that's the homie,
That's
bro.
like the first one that was like,
Yeah.
man, we gonna pick y'all up on
Me
the
too,
strength.
bro.
Yeah,
Me too,
That's
real
a
shit.
solid ass group of
Yeah,
individuals.
fuck
right there.
yeah,
That's
bro. That's
probably
my
my
spot.
favorite.
That's like my
dispensary
Cheers
set.
bar, you know what I'm saying?
100%,
Yeah.
100%. So a couple people picked me up, and it's been going really, really well. I mean, we did some numbers, and I just focused on my thing was I'll just focus on SAC, and I was in Modesto at PCF.
Yep, that
that's
chain. They're up to 10 stores.
Shout
now,
out
bro.
to
Shout out
Bert,
Big
you know what I'm
Bert.
saying, and Kayla, the whole
Kayla,
team
yep,
over there.
yep.
Solid
You
ass.
see, you ain't getting through Kayla. You ain't getting to Bert. You know what I'm saying? You got to fucking.
One time I text Kayla, and I was premature because they were probably going to reorder anyway, but I was like, hey, who do I got to fuck to get a pre-order? And she's like,
Yeah.
what? I was like, is it Bert? Tell him I'm coming. She's like, what the fuck? So my sales tactics are pretty weird.
Yeah.
I'll wait in the parking lot underneath your car like the dude from Cape Fear and shit.
Yeah.
That's how I met Josh.
What?
Got to his house, was like, how many speed bumps did you have to hit, asshole? No, I'm just kidding.
Jesus.
I'm just fucking with you. No, I actually sent him a dick pic. That's how I locked him in.
This guy's got some interesting tactics.
He's like, damn, is that a little piece of rosin? Looked like a stale bud. It's all yellow. Little piece of popcorn. But so I got into some dispensaries. It started going really, really good. And then, you know, one thing too, like this is the only time, like you said, brands kind of matter, marketing matters, and the individual responsible for the brand and the sale matter, because a lot of brands will pop up and disappear, right?
That's
And I
fact.
didn't want that to happen to me. So I just focused on SAC, Modesto. I didn't really go any other areas. Ukiah and like some in Humboldt.
Yeah.
A lot of the Humboldt shit though, we did one drop at Proper Wellness. That's like our dogs. Shout out to them. But after one drop, I was like, I'm just gonna sling this shit myself right out the minivan.
Right.
And I just started rolling. You know what I'm saying? Fuck it. Like the minivan is literally a fucking rolling drugstore at this point.
Yeah.
Like, so, you know, we spread out a little bit, but my main focus was SAC because I'm like, that's such a good area. People respect quality.
Absolutely. Sack smokers, bro.
They don't
We some smokers.
run to goofy shit. It has to be quality. They won't just buy it on a gimmick. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, our best chance is focus on SAC. We got in there, and then after we made some money, things started rolling. We ended up having to, we only had a 1 year. I don't like to do things for more than a year in cannabis because you have to be careful in cannabis. There's a lot of different personalities when you go into the upper levels. You know what I'm saying? You have a lot of like egotistical kind of weird shit. You know what I'm saying? Like you might have a situation where you make a deal with the facility, you start rocking and rolling. Now they're like a little bit mad that you're rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
They want to start their brand and
Yeah, I've
asking
seen
you to
that.
get
I've
you
seen
in
that.
their dispensaries.
I've seen that movie before.
Yeah, and it's like it's like some copycat weird shit, which that's cool. I want you guys to have a brand, but you just
But
sat
good
here
luck,
and
bro.
watched everything I fucking did. I'm out. Have a good day. Good luck to you.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Hope you guys make it. So we switched facilities just recently, which caused a little bit of a hiccup, but we're looking forward to like when I come back here, probably 4 weeks. I'm coming back with way more flavors.
Nice.
The quality is unmatched because, like I said, we use canna. It's we're not doing this. A lot of facilities I know now they're drying too fast. They're rushing the process. You know, we're hanging it for 17 days. And we got another partner. Shout out to my dog Mike at Fiacre. Cool ass dudes over there in Concord. These like some crazy ass Asians. These
Okay.
fools, nothing like every time I go there, I'm shocked by it. These fools are funny as fuck. They're like real down to earth ass people. They grow a lot of weed too. So we were able to pass our genetics to them. Now kind of have a bigger inventory on the wholesale to allow other people to get a taste, you know, because I'm not like against taking our shit and saying, okay, these 3 strains right here, you guys can put them in your packaging right now if you want to, and then watching you, Bo, as long as you're paying for it. I'm not like partial to shit. This is all stolen genetics anyway, so who am I going to be partial to?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But they're mine. They're original. They're ours. You know, it's all runs.
Hey, what are you gonna do?
But so
You can't
now,
steal runts, right? I mean, come on.
I mean, they stole it, so we can only steal it from them. Who knows?
Right.
You know. Shout out to my boy Ray. Everybody kind of like can start a brand and get going, but you got to understand your sales territory, and no matter how cool you are with the dispensary, you need to stop by and you need to like maintain those relationships.
Absolutely.
And check your inventory and shit. So there's a lot of work to be done. I didn't really that kind of caught me off guard how much work it was actually going to be in the beginning.
Yeah, bro.
But it's still fun, you know what I'm saying? Well, you might have times though you spend a lot of money moving around, you know what I'm saying? I'm 5 hours from the house. So a trip to me is SAC. I start out at $200 damn near leaving the crib. So I'd go down there for weeks at a time. But I think it's a great way to get yourself out there. Like if you, right now, if you always wanted to start a brand, might be your time, you know, because the weed's a little cheaper and the packaging's more available. More people are doing it. You know, it might be the time. Do I want you to go get a cereal box and fucking start marching around with $5,000 pounds? Go ahead.
Yeah.
Because I'm gonna service the real smokers that don't fall for the gimmicks. You know?
Right.
And I never gotten any dispensaries in LA. I would like to do that eventually too, but I guess what's next at this point, just gonna try to regroup and make sure like when we're on the shelves, we're hitting hard. You know what I'm saying? I don't want like every customer that purchases our shit, I want them tagging us and saying this is fire. You know, I don't want nothing left unturned. You know what I'm saying? Every box has to be checked. So we're kind of just redesigning that, and then our new partnerships. I'm pretty pumped about that because I finally found some people that are like run Canna and kind of like want to see me win. Because when you're not the owner, it's hard to get people to like be okay with seeing you win. You know what I'm saying? The same way too, though. Fact. It goes with anything, any industry. You might have to like move above people or disconnect with people who are not giving you the energy you need to keep going. You know what I'm saying? And also too, I'd like to eventually, I don't know. I mean, this is kind of a weird thing to say, but I went a period right before I did the first smoke of the day. Like I didn't smoke weed for, it was like close to like 3 months. I just stopped. I just wanted to see what it would be like because I had stopped before, and I remember having my natural energy was really fun and really nice. You know what I'm saying? I stopped and I was like, fuck, like I haven't thought of anything funny in 3 months. I'm really patient and understanding, and like I'm kind of like mellow and chill, but I'm definitely not like hyper focused. I'm not able to like hyper focus the way I usually do on weed. So I was thinking that would be cool to design hemp, right? Because there's a lot of people who like to smoke. I like to smoke blunts, and I use it for pain management as well.
No doubt.
I would like to dabble into hemp at some point. Not to say like create a new strain, but I would like to maybe drop a hemp or market a brand that's like literally just for pain relief, or see if we could breed some genetics that will like hyper focus on pain relief. I heard a guy tell me once that he bought weed in India, and the dude told him like, before you buy the weed, like this weed will give you a boner. And he's like, what the fuck? And when he smoked it, it did. It worked like Viagra. So
damn.
I would like to maybe.
What terpene profile that was?
I need it. Cialis. It's the Cialis dripper.
Yeah.
But I would like to like maybe develop something maybe like a topical or like something you smoke that's not necessarily to get high, but for pain management for like dudes our age. Like sometimes when you get out of the car, you have to like unwind before you walk. You know, shit hurts. I don't know. At some point, I would like to veer off and do like a brand for dads or like for just like pain.
You should do that now, bro, because this THCA hemp shit is cracking right now. You can legally mail it to like 10 states, I think.
Yeah.
10 states. I think one just dropped off, but like.
That's the Delta 9 shit.
The Delta 9 shit, yeah. Yeah, it's crazy, bro.
Why the fuck didn't people think of that sooner?
I don't know, but it's cracking. I know.
How's it happening now?
A lot of people doing it.
Yeah, they are, huh?
Yeah. Bro, they're at Champs, bro. I know people at the Champs shit in Vegas with turkey bags out of fake weed that's really real weed that they just tested early type shit. You know what I'm saying?
And when you smoke Delta 9, what does it do to you?
See, you fucking high, bro. It's
I got
real
preloaded
weed,
when I
dude.
smoked
It's
it.
real weed, bro. They just
really
test it early because it hasn't cured and hasn't burned yet. So since they tested it early, or it's a fake fucking COA.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I think it's probably just fake.
Yeah, it's probably just fake.
I dabbed a lot. Like me and Cali Kid, like I was a dope fiend for the dabbing for a while. I was literally like a dope fiend. Like you'd hear me up at 5 a.m. going straight to it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like grams a day. You just hear that torch just back in the back room. And even before like the rosin though, I used to go to my boy McDavin's house and take hits of like straight like isolate. Like the when they make the THCA, there'd be like teardrop looking things on the side of the steel container. I would pop those off and just take fucking gnarly ones where like I would take a dab and in my head, I'd be like whited out, right? In my head, I would see me getting hauled off in an ambulance going all crazy with paramedics around me.
Christ.
Like that's how high I would get.
Yeah.
And sometimes I would pull the chairs at his table in his dining room and just sleep on the chairs after I took the hit for hours. And he'd have to call my wife to come pick me up and shit.
Jeez.
I would take like really crazy hits of just diamonds and just explore my mind. I don't know why. I was using it for like explorations, not for the taste. Just how high can I actually fucking get? And now you probably couldn't pay me to do that. Like after a while doing it, then I started smoking rosin with this fool. I was like, this shit's way cooler.
Yeah, way cooler.
It's calm and I get just as ripped. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I was a fiend for the dabs for a while. I kind of had to lay back off that shit because I was starting to get out of control, bro. Like it gets a little out of, and most people who dab are out of control.
It can, bro. That's some ritual type shit, bro. Like the setup shit, and you know.
Just come on the camera,
yeah,
fucking piece of shit. I'm gonna Harvey Weinstein you.
So let me ask you a question, sir. Since we talking strains and weed, what's your top 3 strains of all time, bro? One old school, one new school, and a desert island strain you stuck on the island with.
How old school has got to be?
This is your truth, your timeline.
Back in the day, there was like lots of strains kind of floating around way back in the day, but one that I thought was really cool, that XJ13.
Okay. So you like Jack Terps?
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm a lemony. Like,
got you.
This fool always like, dude, why do you like Tangy so much? I like all the lemon
Some
citrus
people like
shit.
that shit, bro.
I love that shit. I prefer it, you know what I'm saying? But then I'm not going to. So I would say probably that XJ, way back in the day, it was one of the ones like just the first time I smoked it, I was like, damn, I fucking love this. Strains of all time, I got to give it up to like the original cookies.
Yeah, you take,
Like,
this is your island strain? You're going to take it to the island.
Okay, old school, XJ.
XJ. Island and something new you fucking with.
Okay. Island, yes, I would say original cookies. Like some of that original cookies that was coming out the East Bay back in the day.
Yeah.
Like
East Bay for sure.
that shit was a game changer. It just I don't know why, but some of that, like I wish I could just find it right now sometimes.
Can't. It's been heard
I never was a big
times.
fan of it in depth or outdoor though.
Nah, hell
it's not,
no,
you
bro.
know, but
Smell like
indoors
hay.
the right way. Oh my God.
Stupid.
So XJ for the old school. I'm gonna smoke that cookies, the original real cookies on that desert island. Something new right now.
Yeah.
What have I seen recently? Well, I could tell you something new that I've been wanting to try.
Okay.
I want to try that toad venom.
I've tried it.
I want to try that.
Yeah.
Something new that I've been like super fucking impressed with. I have to say, bro, the Lance from Ridgeline.
Okay.
And people in Humboldt have a little more access to it than I think everywhere else, but
Yeah.
I've seen it indoor and depth, and I have to say, I'm pretty fucking impressed.
What are the terps like on that? I've heard of this. I never had
It's
it.
got like a, well, not just the terps. It's got a great kind of, not necessarily gelato-y, but like a candy-ish taste to it. But it has that really old school green weed power.
Oh, no shit.
Like your Blitz. Like it's great terps. I
Yeah.
mean, I can give you depth and you're going to roll it up and you will not know it's depth. Like it's one of the few depth you can
Yeah,
smoke where
performs
it's like,
well.
this might be indoor. Like if you
Okay.
didn't know better. You know what I'm
Gotcha.
saying? But the power is more of like a old school. Like, remember when you used to get ripped when your homies were like 15, 16? Everyone used to laugh.
Yep.
That was like getting ripped was like, now it's like I just get ripped just to get in the car to go to the store.
Yeah,
I have
no
to smoke
doubt.
a blunt. You know?
No doubt,
But
no doubt.
like you said, ceremonial and tribal type weed feelings,
Yeah.
like where I'm like, I'm really fucking high.
I need to get some of that. God damn.
I'm gonna ask my boy, man, because Germ's real cool with Jason. Well, I'm gonna bring something down.
Yeah, see what's up,
but like
man.
new weed right now that I've been impressed with, the Lance. The last 2 years I've been seeing it, I encountered a lot just like in the hood, and it's impressive, bro.
Nice.
I think he has something special. I ain't
Nice.
gonna lie. And he's taken it and proven it, you know, in competition. It's been,
Yeah, I've seen that.
yeah, you know. So I
sure.
can honestly say my new strain, yeah, my Desert Island, no, for sure, the original cookies. I was a big fan of that XJ. Yeah, that's probably the top 3 right there for that particular question.
Solid. How about if you could bring back a strain, what would it be? It's gone.
I mean, people gonna hate me for this, but I love green crack. I used to make so much money growing that shit. It would grow itself outdoors, and it was always thick and chunky. You could cut it down early, wouldn't even affect it. Sometimes it'd even be better.
No shit.
I just think green crack was the dopest strain ever invented in the history
Great
of mankind.
fucking name, too.
Dude.
One of the best.
Grows
names.
so heavy. Holy shit. Now, keep in mind, you're not going to get much money for it, but
Yeah.
I wish I could bring it back and make it popular again.
Yeah.
I mean, what's his name tried with the Wilson, but I don't know.
The Wilson was green crack?
Masonics Wilson.
Oh,
I always say
shit.
it's green
Yeah,
crack.
oh,
I'm just
shit.
fucking with you.
Damn.
I'm just fucking with you,
Damn,
Mace.
fuck.
He's like, oh shit. No, I'm just fucking with you, dog. Shout out to Mace. That's my dog. Yeah, green crack is like, I got a tramp stamp that says green crack. It's right above my
Bro,
ass.
if I get some, I'm supposed to get some from Trap Jesus. He just did a nice run.
Of real green crack.
Real green crack, bro. Real green crack. Indoor. It looks crazy.
We're gonna have to find a bag seed.
Yeah.
Steal it. This is our new shit.
Yeah.
Green crack fish.
Yeah, green crack fish. I like it.
But yeah, no, I got a lot of respect for that strain. I mean, it made me so much money. It always made my job easy.
It's like it grew like a blue dream, like super easy, like you
Yes.
can piss on it, it grows type shit.
100%. 100%. Chunky. Just doing its thing.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm using fucking barely any nutrients. I'm just letting it do its
just thrives.
thing. And shit starts getting hot. I could cut down one spot. I could dry it. It still looks good. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, people understand, like, a lot of the time growing weed, like, you're at a constant battle of surveillance from the possible landowner or landlord. You know, so sometimes shit gets hot in the middle of a run, even outdoors. You know what I'm saying? Like, shit gets weird every now and then.
Yes, it does.
You know? So sometimes you have to do crazy shit.
Yeah.
I would say green crack, and then another strain though that I miss, and I see some of the OGs are making a comeback, but I mentioned it before. Like, I like Skywalker OG.
It's my favorite OG.
Oh, I fucking love that one,
Yeah.
man. Just breaking it up so it's stuck to your finger, dog. It's so gassy and
It's gassy as fuck, dude.
man, I love that one.
Yeah.
I would bring that one back too.
You're a gentleman. What's the grimiest thing you had to do as a shorty to get high when you were scraping for some weed?
Man. So one time in Connecticut, there was this dude named John Nucci. I could tell the story because he's dead. I was a kid, but he was a grown man, right? He's an older guy, but he was like connected.
For
You know
sure.
what I'm saying?
Nucci.
Like, 100% obvious. He drove a brand new Corvette. He walked around. You know, like, everyone was terrified of him, right?
Yeah.
He threw a big ass party at his house, and I was like in junior high, and I was talking with a senior in high school. This chick named Veronica, right? I was fucking her. But it wasn't all the time. She just gave it to me when she felt like doing some charity.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? I was like obsessed with her though. She's like way older than me. She had a car. She's hot.
Yeah.
Well, I'm like walking over there and I'm like seeing her car and I wanted to like walk to the party and like say what's up to her. But she like catches a glimpse of me and walks out there. It's like, yo, like you can't come in here. Like even us high schoolers shouldn't be here. Like you can't come in. Like fuck off, basically. I'm with my friends, nerd. Fuck off.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Gave me one of those. Like, all right, cool. We walked like down the street. So in Connecticut, not everyone has like a fence. Like sometimes make a house, like a long ass yard, and other houses like just open backyards. You can walk, you know, like the Eastcoast style.
Yeah, sure.
I was standing in the back of the crib just watching the party for hella long, kind of in the dark with my boy. And it gets to be like 3 a.m. There's like 6 people left there. And I walked up to the window and I seen John on his bed, passed out like this, just completely asleep, right?
Yeah.
I'm looking in his bedroom window. I climb in that bitch while he's sleeping to bed and start going through his drawers and found a half pea of weed and stole it. And fucking, it was fucked up too because he blamed these dudes and he was getting crazy with these dudes. Like went to this dude's parents' house and hit him in the head with a 357 and shit. No one ever really knew I did it except for me and my one homie. And I was telling him like, you ever tell anyone, dog, we're both dead. We're dead. Like, I'll tell him you did it. You know what I'm saying? But that's like, we were desperate that night. We were kind of just watching the party to see how we were going to get high. We just wanted to get lit. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's the craziest shit I did. I robbed a fucking mobster in junior high for his weed while he was asleep.
So that's interesting you say that because
hey, his brother was the
this
teacher I stole the triple beams from too.
Oh shit.
Yeah, Mr. Nucci.
Waters run deep in the Nucci clan.
Yeah, the Nuccis were pretty well known.
Oh man, that's wild.
Anyways, my bad. Sorry.
No, you're good, bro. I was testing. That's one of my new questions, and I was testing on you. I was like, see where this one goes. I was in my mind, I'm thinking like, bro, I had to scrape a bowl. It was gross. This fool breaks into a mobster's crib and steals a happy. Didn't see that coming, bud. Didn't see that coming.
Now, don't get me wrong. I've smoked resin and shit before. Like,
no doubt.
But
you a criminal. You went grimy. Like I meant grimy, like scumbag. Like
I was
not like
waiting
criminal
for someone
grimy.
To throw a roach off the front porch and go grab that.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
sure.
saying?
That was where I was going.
Yeah,
but you.
That's kind of like the package store thing. I was like, how are we gonna get drunk? Let's go rob the package store.
Now that we've been talking for 2 hours, I understand why you answered like that. You know what I'm saying? I got to know you a little bit on the show. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Fuck. So this is a good segue into what's the biggest misconception people have about you? I'm sure there's a few.
Well, there's all kinds.
For sure.
I would probably say this because I joke around a lot. That's just my personality.
No, it's good. I come from where the ball breakers break balls. You know what I'm saying?
I think the biggest misconception about me, probably, I would say most people would doubt my true intelligence and my ability to see forward and ahead in life and what's happening. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
I think that at first glance, I mean, I don't have a GED. I tried. Took it like 4 times, bud. Kept making it harder.
Fuck,
usually I just fill in the bubbles and it works.
Yeah, right.
But I think maybe you might underestimate my actual intelligence.
Sure.
And I think maybe get to know me a while, then you realize that you did that. But yeah, the biggest misconception is that I'm a fucking redneck from the hills.
Yeah.
I get a lot of that. You know what I'm saying?
I can see that. I didn't know, like,
Bro,
I didn't know where you was at in life. You know what I'm saying?
Nah, like, I don't.
You have a hell of a story.
No, I'm not necessarily not a redneck.
Yeah.
But I'm not like a redneck from, like, that's a massive, big misconception from me.
Sure.
I'm a real international player. You can't really put a crowd or a genre on it.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Right. I feel it.
Definitely not a red, like my baby mama's black. So how
Right.
am I a redneck from the hills? You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
I kind of like, I got that one a lot because I have the redneck character. I am from, the middle of nowhere, kind of
Yeah.
Hickville.
Yeah.
But that's another misconception, is that they would
No
think
doubt.
I'm a redneck from the hills, which I am in some sorts.
Yeah.
But not necessarily full throttle like that.
No doubt.
Like, yeah.
I can see that.
I definitely down with all the redneck shit, though. I like to, I want a big truck. I like to fucking be earnest and love my wife and children. I just don't drink the whiskey or chew the chew. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
The rest of it's history.
That's right.
But yeah, that's a misconception that I'm a fucking redneck.
If you could smoke with two people, one that's dead, one that's still alive, who you smoking with?
I would like to smoke weed with Robin Williams.
Ooh, that's a good one.
I
First time
think
ever
he would
came
be
up.
the coolest person to get just totally ripped with and just
Yeah.
bullshit. Because the shit that comes out,
Yeah.
he has so much shit going on in there. You know what I'm saying? And alive, that's a tough one, bro. Because I don't necessarily think it's anybody famous or that's unattainable. Like, I'm pretty sure at some point I could meet Be Real and smoke with them, but I'm like a big fan of Cypress Hill, so
Yeah,
I
same.
like B. If you out there, bro, I want to smoke with you.
Yeah, I just seen him last Sunday.
Yeah, I walked by him once. I got all fucking,
Yeah,
'cause I'm like, dude, me and my brother used to bang this shit like for
Fuck
real.
yeah,
you know what I'm
bro.
saying? So
First
I would
time smoking.
dead, probably Robin Williams, alive. I like to smoke with Be Real,
Real, that's
and I
fire.
like to, like, in his later days, like, he's always been a big supporter of, like, up north. You know what I'm saying?
No
and
doubt.
the brands and the movement. So yeah, I like to smoke with him one day. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he seems cool as fuck, bro.
No, he seems like a chill dude.
Hell yeah.
But even now, I like to just say I did it. I smoke with fucking Cypress
That's a
Hill.
check, bro. It's a checkbox. It's a stoner.
Yes.
It's a lifelong stoner.
100%.
From our era at that. You know what I'm saying? Hell yeah, bro.
You know who else would be funny though
Who?
to smoke with if they were dead, or that's dead? The guy from Naked Gun,
Which one? Naked Gun. Did I see Naked Gun?
the movie Naked Gun.
I don't know. I know of the movie. I don't know if I've seen it.
Frank Drebin.
Frank Drebin.
You never
pull
seen-
up? Hey, pull up Frank Drebin. How you spell Drebin?
Frank Drebin. Type in Naked Gun.
Naked Gun.
You'll see
Type
that.
in Naked Gun.
The old guy from Naked Gun. I don't know why, but he's funny because, like, I grew up on the fucking movies. That shit is so fucking funny.
Okay.
I would like
Chevy
to smoke
Chase?
with it. No, not Chevy Chase. You'll know, the people who know out there, but there's a dude, if you ever get a chance, even just click on it, because it's even funny now. It's like
Yeah.
one of those, remember back they used to do spoof movies? Where it's like a movie
Yeah.
that makes fun of movies?
Yep.
He would specialize in those. O.J.
Okay.
Simpson was in a couple of them.
Okay.
But I would like to smoke with him too. Not to add characters to the list, but
that's cool, bro.
Robin Williams
Sure,
for sure.
absolutely.
I can only imagine. Imagine taking dabs with Robin Williams, like,
I'd eat some mushrooms with Rob Williams.
yeah,
bro.
like
Just
at the
go
house,
fucking
like late
nuts.
night, just bullshit,
I'd
and
eat
seeing
an
what the
eighth
fuck
with
he's
that
talking
fool.
about.
Hell yeah. So now it's time for you to shout out your favorite plug from back in the day, sir. Who took care of you? Who fucking, when you called, they were there for you.
Man, I got a homie right now. He did a bunch of time in the feds and gave his life to God. My boy Frelan Mungia, and I'm real proud of him because he got custody of all three of his daughters. He done built a business up in Washington.
Hell yeah.
He did a bunch of time, but he was always my dude coming up. He was my plug. Like, I wasn't just like a little drug dealer back in the day. I was pretty lucrative at one point. You know what I'm saying?
For sure. It sounded like it.
Definitely like the biggest from my city.
For sure.
And he always just looked out for me. There was one time I had got behind, and some fools from the cartel that he worked with, like, they want to take me out to the beach and, like, beat the shit out of me. I got behind on my count. We had took some losses.
Yeah.
And shit started slowing down, so they wanted to, like, send me a message. And he was like, no, the fuck you're not, bro. That's my, that's my boy. He always looked out for me. My first couple cars, the ones I have with the TVs and shit, he's co-signed for me because he was already established adult.
Oh,
you know what I'm saying?
shit.
But, yeah, that's like my best plug ever, bro. Like, he
Tight.
wasn't just my plug, like, he was my dog. You know what I'm
That's
saying? And even when he was locked up in the feds, he did like 17 years. Still, I always maintain contact with him. And shit.
Sure.
Like he's like a true friend, you know.
No
and
doubt.
if you get people in this life, and when you're hustling, you can make real friends out of
No
business
doubt.
partners.
I
It just
have,
doesn't
bro.
happen too much on the legal side.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The black market, though, your buyers and like the people you buy from, that's your family.
There's real trust there.
100%.
There has to be
100%.
for it to be a successful relationship. It's
But
not
he
like
was-
that corporate shit when you sign a
He was
contract.
my plug in a way, like he just never tripped, bro. He would give me anything. Like it was no time limit on it. Never, you know what I mean? It just was like whatever.
Tight.
But I ended up becoming real friends with him and fucking, you know, kind of like he was older than me, so he kind of showed me the way a little bit to where like I got some younger homies where I'm like I'm gonna always be an older brother to you, whether we get money or not. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, that's probably my best plug ever and my coolest plug.
I fucking like that guy. Well, you listen, on June 16th, it's National Plug Day. Shoot him a Venmo, Cash App. Send
They
him
got a
fucking
day
joint.
for everything.
No, I made that up. That's my
Okay,
shit.
okay.
That's
I
my
was gonna
shit.
say, did someone send that
That's
to you on
That's some
Facebook?
good pizza shit, bro.
Okay, good
National
pizza
Plug
plug
Day.
day.
If you forget-
plug in.
If you forget, it's Tupac's birthday.
Okay.
It's also my birthday, so if you want to give me something, you're more than welcome, my friend. I stay out here in Sac.
I got you.
No doubt. No doubt.
You know what? I was thinking about this on the way here. There's like two types of people on earth, and both are good types.
Yeah.
You got people who think Pac was the best rapper ever, and you got people who don't. There's literally just two types.
Which one are you?
Pac was the greatest.
Okay,
Are you-
same,
yeah,
same,
no,
same,
like,
same,
like
same,
it's
same.
mandatory. Like my kids know the words to Pac. Like, I
Yeah.
don't give you know,
So does
like
my
you're
4-year-old
knowing
son,
this
bro.
shit, bro. Hell yeah.
I don't fucking see where that came from. Jesus
But
Christ.
there's people who don't, and it's like it's just two different types of people. You know what I'm saying? You either think Pac was the greatest or you don't. It's like, where do you fall?
Yeah, like we didn't get counseling back in the day. Like we just listened to Pac, bro.
Straight the fuck up.
Like my sister Candy from Trenton, shout out to Candy. She used to, like when we was in college and we was listening to Pac, she'd be like, yo, bro, you good? Yo, you stressing? You good? I'm like, nah, why, what's up? So now you got the Pac on and shit. You straight?
No, these
I'm like,
tears
no,
are
no,
joy,
I'm cool,
yeah.
I'm cool. This cool. We thugging right now.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? It's
straight
Friday.
up, straight
you know what I'm saying?
up.
But yeah, bro. Like,
Wait, so that where you lived in Trenton?
No, hell no.
Trenton's
I'm from
wild,
North Jersey.
huh?
Trenton's fucking
Yeah.
wild.
I used
I'm
to,
a North Jersey boy.
I used to take packs to these. They were Liberian from
Okay.
Libya or no from Liberia.
Okay.
Africans in Trenton.
Okay. Yeah,
And,
Trenton, a lot of shit goes down. Trenton,
holy
bro.
shit.
It's a shithole, bro. Respectfully, shout out T-Town.
Holy shit!
Yeah.
I don't think people really realize
Nah,
until
bro.
they actually like been through over there.
It's like Newark, bro. It's like the same shit, bro.
holy fuck.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
I remember being a kid and going to the Jersey Shore, though. We used to have a lot of fun over there.
No shit, man.
Yeah, walking down the boardwalks, eating
What's
saltwater taffy.
Yeah, fuck
Yeah.
yeah. What part of the shore? What's
I have
up?
no idea. It was just really,
No
really
doubt.
little when we used to go. But I was like, my
Either
earliest
way.
memories.
Oh, it's
like,
greatest
I know, like,
when you're a kid.
the ocean there, the waves kind of like collapse onto the sand instead of onto water, like on the. So, like,
Yeah.
you'd be like body surfing and we just belly flop onto the
Yeah,
ground
bro.
and shit.
Yeah.
But I remember like saltwater taffy and being out there. I used to like Jersey and then as a kid go to Rhode Island a lot too. I like it there. I would live there, actually.
I've never been to Rhode
I
Island.
love Rhode Island.
We didn't travel, bro.
Really?
Like East Coasters don't really travel. You stay in your little bubble in your
Yeah,
little
yeah.
town and little.
And like everyone goes to like the same bar at night to have a drink and shit.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
much
shit
more
like that.
localized
Yeah,
community
very.
socialization.
Definitely.
100%.
So we're gonna play a little game called Overrated, Underrated, or Perfectly Rated. I'm just gonna tell you something. You're gonna tell me whether it's overrated, underrated, perfectly rated. We're gonna start with sun-grown cannabis.
Perfectly rated.
Die-cut bags.
Overrated. A lot of shit goes in those bags. What are you hiding? You know, I got them myself. But keep in mind, there's good weed in here.
That's right. That's right. Runts.
Underrated. I think there's still a lot of weird phenos and crosses and shit that can come out of that. Same with like Skittles. I don't even think it's seen like the best has yet to come. I think.
doubt.
And not only that though, like shout out to LB too. Like kicked it real heavy with my dogs in Barcelona and shit. As a crew, I think they some cool ass fucking people too, bro. They were more than courteous to us. We met them in Barcelona and fucking went to the club with them for like 3 days straight.
No
Like,
shit,
As a
dude.
crew, I think they have a lot of capability as well, not just a
Nice.
strain. You know, but I think the strain, man, there's a lot of twists and turns you could breed with and do shit off that. Like,
And it
it's got a
has
lot
been.
more capabilities than any other strain that's came, you know, along the way. Granddaddy Purple was a great strain. I mean, it was taste beautiful, but if you grew it right now, it wouldn't have like super pop. It wouldn't get you too
know.
ripped. You'd kind of be like disappointed almost. Like, damn,
Yeah.
that's not the granddaddy I remember. No, it's just weed's much stronger now. So that
Yeah.
granddaddy was doing it back then. But granddaddy's great smell, great taste, but it's almost a little purple punchy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, how many blunts do I have to smoke to get high?
Right.
You know what I
right.
mean?
For sure. You just said it, but we're gonna go Skittles.
I would say underrated only because I grew it and I was like, fuck, this shit looks like shit. And then I looked at my weight and I was like, fuck, we're not even going to pay the PG&E. And then I smoked it and was like, ooh,
Oh, hello.
okay.
Yeah, bro.
This shit tastes like a mouthful of fucking candy.
5 in the
This is
street, 10 in the
crazy.
bed.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
crazy. And then also too, just recently I've seen, you know, like sometimes I'll smash down to LA. Shout out my boy Spence, J Beam, everybody over at Get Go, my whole LA family. Me and Germ had a spot in Culver City for a couple years. We just started just going down there and exploring. So I'm like, bro, I've never been nowhere but fucking South Central ever in LA, ever in my whole life. I've been to the hood. I used to buy keys in the Avalons. And
Damn.
I never been nowhere else. And like Long Beach a couple times. Shout out to everybody from Babies. I would go there and we never been nowhere else in LA. Like, let's like really branch out, bro, and like try to live down here for a little bit. We got an expensive ass house in Culver, and my boy Spence and J Beam was down there, and we started moving bags down there and kind of just checking out the scene. And sometimes I would be down there, and I would see just a good ass bag, one single bag of Skittles, and if we're like, yeah, I got one, and some dude would be like, I'll give you 4 for it. You know what I'm saying? No, I need 42. And like, I'm like, is this a fucking Sapphire? There's a hidden camera TV show right now?
Yeah.
And it was real. It was real.
Yeah.
Like they were getting those
it's
numbers for
fact,
it, bro. And I was like,
fact.
holy shit.
We was getting them numbers in SAP when it came out, bro. If you had access. If.
Yeah. And then shout out to my dog Brandon from Third Gen, bro. That's the homie. You know, that's family actually though. Like his baby's mom and my cousin.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah. So
Yeah, hell yeah.
and you know, his campaign is I think the Skittles is underrated because it seemed with the way he campaigns and move his shit and really push his line, I think he is just getting started as well. There's no limit to how far he could actually take this shit.
Hell yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I know there's other people involved in Skittles or the other crew that has it or whatever. I don't personally know them, so I don't know what their involvement was.
For sure.
But who knows what they could do with it either. They could take, you know, there's so many twists and turns, bro. Skittles and Runts, those two.
Those two,
There's a lot of
heavy.
twists and turns and shit you can manipulate.
Game
and weird
changer,
out.
culture changer. You know what I'm
I
saying?
consider them the sperm donors. You know what I'm saying? Because a chick, she can't find a dude to spend more than 10 minutes around her because she's a fucking weird cat lady. She goes and looks for a sperm donor. This is like a plethora of fucking DNA that you can mix and make all kinds of weird shit in
Yeah.
your tummy. It'll
Yeah.
still end up being buried in the corner watching an iPad anyway. Who gives a fuck? But you know, there's a lot of these sperm donor strains. There's a lot of motherfucking. That's a weird name to put on it.
Yeah.
But I just did that, and it's gonna stay.
It's gonna stay.
So-
You heard it first, folks.
It's the sperm donor strains because you can mix it and breed it with anything, and weird shit will come out that you might like.
How about toe venom?
I haven't tried it yet, but
So
Jesse
we
was
can't-
just
we
telling
can't
me.
answer that. I've tried it.
He was telling me it was the shit, and he's got quite the palate.
Okay.
Don't let him pick the restaurant when you're on the fucking road, though.
No doubt.
And that's Michelle's fault.
We used to call him the Guy Fieri of cannabis, but he stripped of that title after about 3 restaurants. And I was like, ugh.
And picked the restaurant right down the street from Michelle's house. She didn't warn us.
She didn't even tell us it was shit.
She walked in,
Michelle set him up.
But no, I want to try that one. But there is some. I mean, I guess ask some more. I think there is some that are overrated, though. I hate to say that everything's underrated.
No, you good, bro. How about a New Jersey, New York slice of pizza?
If it's not from New Haven, Connecticut, I really don't give a fuck about it. I'll stand in line at Pepe's for 6 hours before I go over to Jersey or New York and get a slice.
Shit.
Or I'll skip on down to Sally's. You know, if we're talking pizza.
Wow. Okay. Yowzers. Last question before we get up out of here, brother. If you could go back to the young you before you jumped in the game, the day before you hopped off the porch, what would you tell you?
You can't build other people. They're either going to be what they're going to be or not. You can't waste your energy trying to build everyone around you. They either got it or they don't. So just, if they got it, roll with them. If they don't, forget it. You can't make them something they're not. You cannot bring everyone along with you. Not everyone is going to see the same way you do. You cannot build other people. You can only build yourself. You can help other people. You can be kind to them, be friends with them. You can build with them, but you can't build them as a person. You can't put that shit in them.
That's a fact.
You know what I'm saying?
That's solid, bro.
Straight up.
My G.
Sorry, I got the blunt
No,
in
you
there. And
good,
I ashed on him. My
You good,
bad, buddy.
you good.
Hell yeah.
Thanks for coming through, man. At this point, real quick, shout out, plug whatever you want to plug. Let people know where they can find
I'm
you.
going to plug this right here, man. Shout out to the realest. Good pizza. You see this shit on the shelves, motherfucking treat yourself. Don't beat yourself off.
That's right. That's
Straight
right.
up.
CJ Humboldt in the motherfucking building. Thank you for sharing your story.
Hell yeah, brother. Thank you for
You
having
already
us.
know. Follow my bro. He's got the strains. He's got the bacalao. He's got shit popping. He's come back to the rec market.
Seafood menu.
Seafood menu. Holla at your boy. Peace, love, good pizza. We up out of here.
Black Market Vikings on YouTube.